The following is a production of Hometown and Home Country Radio Sports.
Hardline drive by Garrigan, one hop to second base, and it gets through! It gets through into right field. Garrigan takes the lead. Trainer scores. Here comes Heliseth. 3-1 Golden Bears. Thompson stealing. First is going to throw through. It's a great throw, and they got him at second base. Tate Firch does it again. 2-2 pitch. Schwab ground ball up the middle, and that one's going to sneak through into center field for a base hit. Here comes Firch. 5-2 Bishop Garrigan. Bags are full. Lappy winds. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike three. The Golden Bears hang on in Forest City.
Video streaming on the Algona Radio YouTube channel is brought to you by Algona Municipal Utilities, community owned for community benefit. Kemna Auto Center, where it's not just about the car, it's about the care. Iowa State Bank, helping people succeed. PMC Advantage Insurance Services, having the advantage makes all the difference. And Algona Frame and Auto Body, we meet by accident. Now, here's Hometown and Home Country Radio Sports Director, Tyler Lance.
It's Friday Night Baseball here on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube live stream. And boy, do we have a good matchup for you tonight. The Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears, two-time defending conference champions at an early crossroads of the season. The 3-3 Golden Bears taking on the 4-2 North Union Warriors here on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream. When Bishop Garrigan played Lake Mills 1 week ago tonight, I said it was an early statement type of game for both Lake Mills and Bishop Garrigan, and the same can be said here tonight. Every time a team plays Bishop Garrigan, they want to make a statement and knock off the defending champs, and so far Bishop Garrigan's gotten off to a tepid start to the season, a 3-3 overall record, and to put it simply, they have to start hitting. The bats have been cold up to this point for the Golden Bears. They certainly faced some good pitching so far this season, but the strikeouts are too high, the batting average is too low, and thus far the offense has not supported the good pitching that Bishop Garrigan's gotten. Case in point, earlier this week, the Golden Bears got a great combined outing from Dan Mice and Brady Garrigan, but still fell against Garner Hay from Ventura 4-2. And even though they've only lost a couple of conference games so far, as the great Yogi Berra once said, it gets late early out here, and you start dropping a whole lot more conference games, you get a little bit too far behind the sticks, and it makes it tough to catch up. So big early conference game here tonight, but Beanie, it's always tough when the Golden Bears play North Union. These two teams really scrap anytime they meet in any sport in the high school arena.
Yeah, it so much depends on the weather. We've got perfect weather tonight, and for some reason that makes teams play different, makes them play better. If it's 30-mile-an-hour wind and rainy out there, the young men don't seem to get into the game as much. But because the conditions are perfect and it is just the rivals from right up the road and it is a big conference game, I think we're going to see a pretty exciting baseball game tonight.
Well, Bishop Garrigan's had some good success against North Union. They swept the Warriors last year in the season series, and they've won 11 of the last 12 against North Union. But these are usually pretty close games. Both teams throwing really good pitchers tonight. Tate Firch, who we'll talk about as the game goes on, getting the start tonight for Bishop Garrigan. North Union going with their ace, Grayson Colgrove. So a couple of guys that have thrown a lot of innings in their career. And Tate Firch, thus far, with a 0 ERA this season. So going to be hard to continue that all year long, but he really couldn't have pitched any better than he has up to this point.
Yeah, Firch, of course, is such a competitor. He can do it all, and he usually catches, of course, from the pitching mound. It's always fun for a catcher to get on the pitching mound. I think that's where they like to be the boss, because they're always the one that's receiving. They like to be the one in charge for a change, so I'm sure Tate's going to relish tonight's game.
Well, North Union trying to be some tough outs here against Tate Firch. They've scored double-digit runs in 4 out of their last 5 games, winning 4 of those 5 as well, as the Warriors are off to a 4-2 start to the year, and they have a chance to make an early statement here and put themselves among the best teams in the top of Iowa West with a win tonight over the Golden Bears. Looking at the lineups for tonight's game for North Union, they will lead things off with their pitcher, Grayson Colgrove. Caden Walters behind home plate tonight, bats second. Max Merrill in right field hitting third. Brennan Bollinger at first base, batting cleanup. Casey Rizak at second, he will hit fifth. Wiley Stevens at third base, batting 6th. Colin Cruz in left field, hitting 7th. Carson Crouch at shortstop, hitting 8th. And Cooper Hoy in center field, batting 9th. For the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears, it'll be Tate Firch. He will do the pitching tonight and bat leadoff. Aiden Deitring at second base, hitting 2nd. Carter Schwab at first base, batting 3rd. Brady Garrigan in the cleanup spot as he will play third base. Dan Mice, the shortstop, batting 5th. Nick Lear in center field, hitting 6th. Caden Graves, the designated hitter, will bat 7th as he will bat for the catcher, Alec Deitring. Drew Moeller in right field, hitting 8th. And Thad Kolash in left field, batting 9th to round out the Golden Bears starting lineup. It's Bishop Garrigan and North Union coming up here on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream. We'll break for a quick timeout. First pitch is next after this.
More Sports Club members.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Call Street in Algona.
Algona Plumbing and Heating, where a good flush beats a full house.
Kasuth Regional Health Center, your home for health care.
Walker Chiropractic and Wellness, caring for Algona, Sway City, and surrounding areas with chiropractic, nutritional, and physical therapy services.
Reeves Wicked Good Bar and Grill, for wicked good food, drinks, and service, you've got to go to Reeves.
High Point Land Company, your trusted land partner in Algona.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
Thank you to these Sports Club members bringing you this game on Hometown Home Country Radio.
CB Grain Solutions, satisfaction guaranteed.
Dump It, Kasuth County's local and reliable waste service provider for commercial and residential customers.
Albert Electric, flip the switch to Albert Electric.
Billy Offerman, your State Farm agent in Algona. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Greg Penning and Company, certified public accountants where everyone counts.
Daylight Donuts, open early with delicious donuts and great coffee.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine Sports Club members.
Signworks Inc. For all your signage needs and printed apparel, stop in or call 295-9544.
New Way K&H Co-op, delivering exceptional value through knowledge and innovation.
West Bend Ford, meeting your service, new and used vehicle needs.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country, carrying steel and Toro products and Green Mountain pellet grills.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
All sponsors of this game broadcast. High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine Sports Club members.
American Glass, for all your glass needs, think American.
Farm Bureau Financial Agents Dave Beisch, Daniel Foth, and Michael Tull.
Chemco Tires, they're all you need to know about tires and service.
Wykirk Realtors, the 515 Agency, a fresh approach to real estate.
Grassmasters, growing satisfied customers.
Iowa Lakes Community College, your community, your college.
Glenn's Green Thumb, from a small seed, something beautiful will grow.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
The Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears and North Union Warriors coming up here on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream. We'll give a quick thank you to our video streaming sponsors here while we have a minute in the broadcast. That includes Chemna Auto Center, where it's not just about the car, it's about the care. Algona Municipal Utilities, community owned for community benefit. PMC Advantage Insurance Services, having the advantage makes all the difference. Iowa State Bank, helping people succeed. And Algona Frame and Auto Body, we meet by accident. Again, it is 3-3 Bishop Garrigan against 4-2 North Union. It is coming up here after the national anthem on KLGA 92.7 and at the Algona Radio YouTube channel.
We've got more Sports Club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Algona Frame and Auto Body, we meet by accident.
Water connection, from softeners to bottled water and service. Call 295-SOFT.
Algona Pizza Ranch, there's so much to love.
Cotton Grave Farm Management and Land Realty, downtown Algona. Trusted for farmland service needs since 1960.
Algona Livestock, sales every Monday.
Countryside Barbecue Sauce, 2 sauces for all seasons.
All bringing you this broadcast on the radio.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine Sports Club members.
Central Financial Group, where you belong.
Down to Earth Tree Service, your local Algona Tree Service.
Styles Salon, your salon in Algona. Create yourself.
Farm and Home Services, view their listings at farmhomeservices.com.
Holmes Animal Clinic, animals large and small, they love them all.
Dance Connection and Tumbling by Michelle, passionate about teaching, creative about dance. Visit their studio or danceconnectionbymichelle.com.
All bringing you this ball game.
We've got more Sports Club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
TAFE Wellness Center in Algona and Armstrong, keeping athletes in the game with chiropractic care. Take charge of your health.
Lichter's Garage Door Service and new installations. A reputation you can trust. Call 515-295-5988.
Ed Service Station, service you can trust.
J&J Custom Meats, continuing the traditions in Whittemore.
Ulrich Construction, let them do the work.
Sports Club members bringing you this game. Thank you to these Sports Club members bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Good Samaritan Society, Algona's senior housing and services rooted in God's love.
Feed Mill Coffee Company, Algona's locally owned coffee shop.
Tangle Salon for all your cuts, colors, hair extensions, and massage therapy needs.
Schindler Lawn Care and Landscaping, 515-320-3840.
All bringing you this ball game.
Where you bank matters. Hi, I'm Sherry Bankin at Security State Bank, and we're relationship bankers. We get to know our customers and understand their financial needs. We're locally owned and operated, which means family, community, and service always comes first. So come to Security State Bank. We'll treat you like family. Security State Bank in Algona, Burt, and Laverne. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Security State Bank.
Hey Golden Bear fans, this is Tate Furch, and you're listening to Bishop Garrigan Baseball on KLGA.
And we welcome you back to Bishop Garrigan High School on a beautiful evening for baseball action on Hometown Radio KLGA as the North Union Warriors visit the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears. A 4-2 record overall for North Union, 2-1 in conference play, that one loss being against Forest City. Bishop Garrigan coming in 3-3 of their overall record as they have dropped a couple of conference games already and looking to get back on track here tonight after an early week loss against Garner Hayfield Ventura. And the Golden Bears will do it with starting pitcher Tate Furch. Now Furch has started 2 games so far this season and he really couldn't have been better. 13 innings pitched for Furch, a 2-0 record as he has struck out 24 batters. He's only walked 5. His ERA 0.00. He did allow 1 single unearned run, but he's only allowed 5 hits, so the opposing batters batting 114 against Tate Furch coming into tonight's matchup. But this North Union offense, they have produced a lot of runs. Again, 4 of the past 5 games scoring in double digits with a high of 19 against West Bend Mallard. Bishop Garrigan well rested tonight. Last night's game against West Bend Mallard getting rained out. Got the softball game in, but not the baseball game last night in West Bend. So the Golden Bears get back to it here tonight with Tate Furch towing the bump. And BD, when I talked to Tate before the season, it was interesting getting his thoughts on pitching because, of course, he is the starting catcher for the Golden Bears, but you're thinking pitching when you're a catcher as well, and you kind of think about the things that you can do as a pitcher to make life easier on a catcher. And one thing Furch talked about a lot was, I just really have to improve my command from last year, and he's done that. That 24-5 strikeout to walk ratio really speaks for itself. So if he continues to pound the zone here tonight, that'll put a lot of pressure on the North Union hitters.
Boy, that is really impressive. Only walking 5 batters, striking out 24. You know, a typical ratio is 1-to-1. If you can strike out someone for when you walk at the high school level, that's not too shabby. But that's an incredible ratio that Tate's got going, and that's so important. You know, maybe that's part of his mentality as a catcher. If you're behind the plate, there's nothing more irritating than a pitcher on the bump that can't get the ball in the zone. And I suppose maybe his experience as a catcher makes him focus on just get the ball in the strike zone, and it's paying off for him so far because you limit those base runners like Tate's doing. That can really affect a game. We've all been at a game, especially at the high school level, when there's a lack of control on the pitching mound, and it makes things tough. But he's warmed up now. He looks sharp. Also a concern if you're Tate Furch, you know, you throw the ball every single time the pitcher does, not nearly as hard, but your arm gets a heck of a workout. Every night in, night out, you're throwing down to second, and the health of that young man's arm, like everyone on this Bishop Garrigan pitching staff, is going to be crucial as the season goes on.
It certainly will be as the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears get ready to face off with the North Union Warriors. Grayson Colgrove, Caden Walters, and Max Merrill to bat for North Union here on a beautiful night for baseball action. 69 degrees at the time of the first pitch. A few clouds in the sky, but not a whole lot. Some shadows reaching out over the home plate area, and most of the rest of the field in sunlight. Furch atop the bump as Bishop Garrigan wears the white uniforms here tonight for the black undershirts. Furch into his motion and the pitch to Colgrove. And that is popped high in the air left side of the infield, a mile up there. Mice, the shortstop, settling underneath it, and he will put it away. 1 pitch, 1 out as Colgrove retired to start the game.
First pitch swinging. I always like that aggressiveness of the batters. The Warriors come right out there. Tate puts a fastball down the middle. You bet. Take a good hack at it. The batter was just a little bit behind it. Popped it up. A lot of the infield wearing sunglasses tonight, Tyler. It's pretty bright out there, but not here where we're at. It's nice and shaded.
As Caden Walters steps in for North Union, hitting out of a slightly closed stance as Furch misses in off the plate for ball 1. Walters so far at the plate this season, 5 hits in at 19 at-bats. He's homered once, and he has driven in 6. Warriors wearing the dark uniforms here tonight as that pitch misses down and away for a ball. Black numerals front and back outlined in white. Golden Bears, as we said, they're in the home whites. The black high socks for a couple of the players with those lateral yellow stripes on them, and the black hat with the lighter brim on it for Bishop Garrigan. Furch with the 2-0 pitch. Waller's watching that one as that'll go in there for a called strike, 2-1.
Well, I'd say the highlight of the North Union Warriors uniform is an American flag that's right between their shoulder blades.
The next pitch down and away for a ball, 3-1 count.
Right above the number and below their helmet, they got a pretty good-sized American flag. You can't miss it. That's a neat twist. And the Bears are wearing the pink socks tonight.
The 3-1 from Furch. That is flared towards shortstop. Mice will come in a couple of steps, and he will put it away with one hand for out number 2 of the inning. So a couple of balls that stay on the infield here as Mice gets a little early work. And Max Merrill bat with 2 outs, nobody on base.
You know, Tyler, I've said in the past how I was a terrible umpire like 25 years ago. I'm pretty sure the American flag and the pink socks would both have been illegal, 25 years ago.
That pitch is upstairs for a ball, 1-0 count. They were more stringent back in their day, if the uniform you're saying, Beanie.
Yeah, you couldn't get away with much flash in the uniform back then. Now we get a little flair.
1-0 pitch. Down and away for a ball, 1-1 count, or a 2-0 count, rather.
I think if everyone's wearing pink socks, it's okay, Tyler. But not one guy. One guy just can't be wearing pink socks just for fun.
Yeah, it's all or nothing. 2-0 pitch. That is popped in the air right side of the infield. Backing up onto the outfield grass is Deichtring, and he will put it away for out number 3 of the inning. So 3 pop-outs, and the Warriors go down 1-2-3 in the first. Furch works quickly through that one, and the Golden Bears will bat next on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at moneypass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
AK's Chrome Kitchen. When you come in, your family.
Farmers State Bank is proud to be part of our community. Offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Stroman Dental, giving you something to smile about.
Phil's Auto and Truck Repair. Service is the difference.
Trend Salon, your complete family hair salon. It's all about you.
Oak Crest Funeral Services, celebrating a life lived.
All bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Hey Golden Bear fans, this is Carter Schwab, and you're listening to Bishop Garrigan Baseball on KLGA.
Grayson Colgrove finishing up his warm-up tosses for North Union. The Warriors sophomore is a right-handed pitcher who's appeared in 3 games on the mound this season. One of them was a start. Colgrove has thrown 11 innings to the tune of a .573 ERA. 17 strikeouts compared to 10 walks for Colgrove, and opposing batters hitting .222 against him. I'm Tyler Lance alongside Beanie Bodie for tonight's game, as the good folks of Mallard, Iowa, letting Beanie join us here tonight after yesterday's escapades. Beanie, glad to have you back here for tonight's game.
It was a rough night in the Mallard Penitentiary. They've got a much bigger facility than you'd think over there in Mallard. But I made
Really?
it.
I wouldn't know.
Well, that's because you're a goody two-shoes, Tyler. You never get yourself in any trouble. But, you know, if you're a rebel farmer like me, you get yourself in trouble in these rural areas.
Yeah, there's a lot to do on nights where you're not calling a ball game, so we're glad to keep you off the streets for this night and keep you in between the lines here for tonight's game.
I'm just glad whenever I can't make it to a Bishop Garrigan game, you let the community know just how much trouble I'm getting into in my worldly travels.
They worry about you, Beanie. The community just wants to know that you're all right, so I'm keeping them informed. Well, in any case, we have Tate Furch stepping up for the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears. It'll be Furch, Deichtring, and Schwab this inning for Bishop Garrigan. And to frankly put it, the offense has to get going here for the Golden Bears. It has been a slumping start to the season, and like we said, they're going to see a lot of aces this year, defending conference champions, so you have the target on your back as Colgrove misses down and away for a ball, but that's not going to change throughout the season, so at some point, you got to start producing some offense, and Furch leading off here is central to that. One of their best hitters last year with over a 400 batting average.
Colgrove throws with good velocity. He's got a very over-the-top delivery. He hides the ball really well, so the batter's not going to see it till the last second.
Colgrove working from a stretch position, hand to the belt. He will kick and deliver and keeps it away to Furch for a ball. 2-0 count as Colgrove misses outside on the first 2 offerings. Bishop Garrigan thus far has struck out 60 times in their 6 games played. Trying to cut down on that number as Colgrove offers up the 2-0. That pitch is outside for a ball. 3-0 count. As far as plate appearances are concerned, a third of Bishop Garrigan's plate appearances thus far this season have ended in strikeouts. And it's a simple thing in baseball. You put the ball in play, you put pressure on the defense, especially at the high school level. So Golden Bears will need more of that here tonight. 3-0 count, and that is downstairs for ball 4, so Furch will work the leadoff walk, and the Golden Bears will have a runner on if nobody out.
Well, either by design or not, Colgrove was really trying to stick to the outside part of the plate, but never could bring it in and get over the white meat of that plate. And that last one was in the dirt. You know, he might have it's a little bit of a home field advantage no matter where you go. It always takes a little time to adjust to the opponent's mound, because as a pitcher, you don't get to warm up on that mound other than when you take that thing and take that hill in the first inning.
Furch held on first base by Bollinger. The slide step in the pitch. In the dirt, it'll kick away from the catcher, Walters, and Furch can jog up to second base. Early runner in scoring position for Bishop Garrigan, and 5 straight balls to start the game by Colgrove, and all of them outside. That one low as well.
All right, Tyler, I've got an inside baseball question for you. In a situation like that where there's a pass ball, how do they score that in the book? Just that it does not count as a stolen base for Tate Furch, correct?
Correct, it does not. A passed ball or a wild pitch is its own ruling, as that pitch is in there for a strike, as Colgrove evens the count 1-1.
But the Tate Furch, the base runner, would still get credit as a base attained in his rest of his stats for all of his bases around the corner. Like he still gets second base. In his stats. It
wouldn't count as a steal. I don't think there's really a stat for that, as that's popped in the air right side. Bollinger drifting into foul territory, and that'll make the catch, out number 1. So total bases is just what you're producing offensively.
So he would still count as total bases.
Well, no, it's what you're doing with the bat is total bases. So if Furch hits a double, that's 2 bases. But since he just walked there, that would just be 1 total base.
Would not count towards his total bases.
Right. So he's at second base as we get the scoring clarification here early tonight. So that was a wild pitch there, and pop out into foul territory. Schwab will step up to the plate.
Well, back to that pop out. It was a great catch by Bollinger, the first baseman for North Union, because that sun is pretty wicked, and he was staring right into that sun and hauled that catch in nicely for the Warriors.
Schwab out of a slightly closed stance. The Garrigan left-handed batter will watch that one go over the outside corner for a called strike from Colgrove. Defensively for North Union, it is Walters behind home plate, Stevens at third, Crouch at short, Rizek at second, and Bollinger at first. In left field, it's Cruz, Hoy in center, and Merrill in right. Schwab awaiting the 0-1 offering, and he hits a hard ground ball towards Bollinger. He gobbles it up and runs the bag himself. Furch is up to third base, but now 2 away as we play with a scoreless ball game here in inning number 1.
Well, Schwab got dealt a pretty good breaking ball there. You see Colgrove's got a really nice breaker, starts out outside and then comes right in on the hands. Schwab bats from the left-hand side of the plate and came right inside on him. He fought that off, almost turned it into a hit, but nope, tap it out to the first baseman. That's another by design for that curveball.
Well, you hate to harp on it too much, but these are the situations where the Golden Bears have to start coming through, and that clutch hitting here has to go up for Bishop Garrigan, especially trip through the middle of the batting order. It's in the hands of Galligan right now. Brady Galligan, the right-handed hitting third baseman tonight, will take on the outside corner for a called strike, 0-1. And sometimes early in the season, the pitching's a little ahead of the offenses, and that's been the case so far for the Golden Bears, but if you start hitting with those 2-out situations and runners in scoring position, that can really help the whole lineup gain confidence. As the 0-1 count, Colgrove from the stretch. Galligan taps that one back to the screen, and he's quickly behind here at 0-2 as Furch is at third base of 2 away.
Well, you got to hand it to Colgrove. He starts out the game throwing 4 straight balls, nothing really close, and he looked a little flustered, but boy, he is really focused and has found the strike zone, now with 2 strikes on Galligan.
So room to work here against Galligan. Colgrove kept pretty much everything away so far in this one. Galligan choking up on the bat with 2 strikes. And that pitch, fastball that buzzes upstairs for a ball. Galligan not tempted, and the count goes to 1-2. Mice is due up next. Lear after that for Bishop Garrigan, as Colgrove tries to work around an early base runner after issuing Furch the 4-pitch free pass. Colgrove sets and brings the hands down to the belt, and he will step off the mound. Run for the signs here again if his catcher Walters.
Well, he's feeling kind of an important moment right here in the first inning, early in this ball game. 2 strikes on this batter, but a runner on third. Doesn't want to give it away.
Colgrove for the 1-2 offering. And a nasty breaking pitch called strike 3. Colgrove fans Galligan looking, and the inning is over. The Golden Bears will strand a runner at third base as they do not score. No runs, no hits, 1 left on base. Scoreless after 1 on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
More sports club members.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Call Street in Algona.
Algona Plumbing and Heating, where a good flush beats a full house.
Kasuth Regional Health Center, your home for health care.
Walker Chiropractic and Wellness, caring for Algona, Sway City, and surrounding areas with chiropractic, nutritional, and physical therapy services.
Reeves Wicked Good Bar and Grill, for wicked good food, drinks, and service, you gotta go to Reeves.
High Point Land Company, your trusted land partner in Algona.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game on Hometown Home Country Radio.
CB Grain Solutions, satisfaction guaranteed.
Dump It, Kasuth County's local and reliable waste service provider for commercial and residential customers.
Albert Electric, flip the switch to Albert Electric.
Billy Offerman, your State Farm agent in Algona. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Greg Penning and Company, certified public accountants where everyone counts.
Daylight Donuts, open early with delicious donuts and great coffee.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
Tate Furch back to work after working a 1-2-3 first inning. It'll be Bollinger, Rizak, and Stevens this inning for North Union. Bollinger waving the bat above that back shoulder and taking the first offering downstairs from Furch for ball one. Bollinger, one of the most experienced Warriors, the senior of 6 hits and 19 at-bats so far this season. He has struck out 9 times and walked 5 as he rips that one in the left center field gap, racing over, sliding, and making the grab out there for Bishop Garrigan is Kolash. Thad Kolash gets to that ball, and it's 4 up, 4 down to start the game for North Union.
Wow, good jump on the ball by Thad Kolash. I thought that was a base hit all the way, but it carried a little farther. Looked like that was going to dip down and catch grass, but Thad got to it quickly, confidently makes that catch. Good prevention of a base runner early on.
And the Warriors are not spotting Furch strike one. They are getting up there and swinging early as the breaking ball doesn't break. Instead, it hits Rizak in the back as Casey Rizak on board with the hit by pitch, and North Union has their first base runner.
Well, Rizak really took that one really well for his team. Like, it was coming at him, but he made sure that got his hit, but he did so in a way that looked like he was definitely trying to avoid that ball. That is the best way to get on base there. Impressive by Rizak.
Wiley Stevens with 5 hits and 15 at-bats right now as he will bat with runner at first base. Modest lead for Rizak as the pitch will be upstairs for ball one as Furch tried to go off speed.
Yeah, important base running over there. Got to be sharp for the Warriors because Furch is a catcher, and those guys just hate it when guys get big leads.
Yeah, controlling the run game is something that Furch will focus on from the opposite end of the spectrum here tonight. He will throw a pickoff to first base right on cue. Don't you love that, Beanie, when we make a point on the broadcast and then it immediately gets proven during the game?
Sometimes you can just sense something like that is going to happen, and you can just see Furch out there getting a little antsy about that guy on first base.
Deitring is the catcher tonight for Bishop Garrigan. Runners moving. Good pitch to throw on as a tie. Throw to second base, and he is out by a mile. Good high fastball to throw on, and a beautiful throw by Deitring as that'll go for out number 2 of the inning.
Well, not even close, but you can't fault the Warriors for trying it. That's a freshman catcher behind the plate because the starting catcher's pitching. They figure, let's see if this guy can throw it down there, and Deitring shows he's got the stuff.
2 outs, nobody on, as that ball's lined towards right field, battling the sun and closing in his Moeller, and he makes the grab. Well, Tate Furch has faced the minimum for 2 innings, and it is a lightning quick 2 innings of a low pitch count as North Union's been jumping on that first pitch. But no score as we play now, heading to the bottom of the second on Hometown Radio and the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Signworks Inc. For all your signage needs and printed apparel, stop in or call 295-9544.
New Way K&H Co-op, delivering exceptional value through knowledge and innovation.
West Bend Ford, meeting your service, new and used vehicle needs.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country, carrying steel and Toro products and Green Mountain pellet grills.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
All sponsors of this game broadcast. High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
American Glass. For all your glass needs, think American.
Farm Bureau Financial Agents Dave Beisch, Daniel Foth, and Michael Tull.
Chemco Tires. They're all you need to know about tires and service.
Wykirk Realtors, the 515 Agency, a fresh approach to real estate.
Grassmasters. Growing satisfied customers.
Iowa Lakes Community College, your community, your college.
Glenn's Green Thumb. From a small seed, something beautiful will grow.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
Bottom of the second inning from Bishop Garrigan High School. No score between Bishop Garrigan and North Union on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream. It'll be Dan Mice, Nick Lear, and Caden Graves this inning due to hit for Bishop Garrigan against Grayson Colgrove, who worked around the leadoff walk last time around.
Boy, he did a really nice job getting out of that inning. He was struggling with his control on that first batter, but boy, did he come in and do that huge strikeout to end the inning. Really got the Warriors defense off the mat and off to a good start.
Dan Mice, starting shortstop tonight, stands in for the Golden Bears. Has those pink socks on as well that the Golden Bears are rocking here for tonight's game. The kick and the pitch to Mice. He watches that one catch the outside part of the plate for a called strike, 0-1.
Now, Tyler, you've done a game like every night. You've seen everything already this year. Any flashy bats out there that we're going to see in the lineup? There's some pencil bats floating around. Nothing cool this year?
Oh, as far as the design of the bats,
Yes.
yeah, that's a good question. You know, it's funny. I think as Mice pops that one straight up in the air, first base side, Bollinger battling the sun. He's onto the grass now, and he makes the grab. So Bollinger having no problem there with the sun on a couple of pop-ups as Mice is retired for out number 1. I haven't seen a whole lot of interesting stuff on the baseball diamond so far. I've seen a lot more multi-chromatic bats on the softball diamond so far for my early escapades. I can't say that word tonight this season.
Well, that makes sense because, you know, the young ladies usually care a little bit more about the flash than the young men. But Nick Lear comes with a baby blue bat to the plate right now.
Well, it's working for him as Nick Lear has been the hottest Golden Bear hitter up to this point this year. The kick and the pitch to Lear. And Lear got jammed on that one, fouled it back to the screen, and it's 0-1. Well, both these pitchers working into a good early rhythm here tonight as the outfield plays Lear slightly towards right center field. After that Colgrove leadoff walk, pitchers have been now throwing in the zone. Strike 1, strike 2, forcing the batters to swing early tonight as Colgrove sets, hands to the belt. The 0-1 pitch. Lear swinging again and fouling it straight back to the screen. He's getting aggressive up there, but down in the count, 0-2.
Boy, he takes a good cut, but he's just underneath at that time. Nick Lear, besides the pink socks, sporting some New Balance cleats. I know for a fact that they've got a whole bin full of cleats there, the Lears with all the boys in their family. Plenty of cleats to choose from if you're in the Lear household.
0-2 the count. Colgrove with the stretch. And the pitch. And tried to go breaking ball that time. That hung up there for a while, but Lear wisely let it go as it dipped down and out of the zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Now that shows some good experience there. That's kind of a pitch that you're tempted to swing at, but Lear lets that one go by. Nice job at the plate with his eyes.
Colgrove with the 1-2 offering. And Lear chased that breaking ball that time. Colgrove went right back to the well, and that time Lear couldn't resist. He strikes out, and it's 2 up, 2 down to start the inning for the Golden Bears. Colgrove's second punch out of the night.
That was that second curveball in a row. The first curveball was just a little too far outside, but that last curveball, Lear couldn't let it go and risk getting rung up on that outside corner. Has to swing at it. Good pitch by Colgrove.
So now here's Caden Graves with 2 outs and nobody on base. Golden Bear designated hitter tonight. Right-handed bat in the Bishop Garrigan lineup as Colgrove fires, and Graves chomps that foul at home plate, 0-1. Well, Colgrove and the Warriors, they've been pretty consistent the past 3 seasons. Last year going 10-12, the year prior 11-12, and the year prior to that 10-10. So they've been right around 500 the past 3 seasons. This year off to a 4-2 start. The 0-1 pitch. Graves ground ball up the middle. It's off the glove of Colgrove. It deflects away. He picks it back up, flips to first. Graves slides, and he's out at first base. So the Golden Bears go down quietly here in the second. 1-2-3 go the Golden Bears, and we stay scoreless, moving to the 3rd inning on Hometown Radio and at the Algona Radio YouTube channel.
For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa bone, joint, and sports surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
We've got more sports club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Algona Frame and Auto Body. We meet by accident.
Water Connection, from softeners to bottled water and service. Call 295-SOFT.
Algona Pizza Ranch. There's so much to love.
Cotton Grave Farm Management and Land Realty, downtown Algona. Trusted for farmland service needs since 1960.
Algona Livestock. Sales every Monday.
Countryside Barbecue Sauce. 2 sauces for all seasons.
All bringing you this broadcast on the radio.
No scores. Tate Furch has faced the minimum through 2 innings. It'll be Colin Cruz, Carson Crouch, and Cooper Hoy this inning for North Union. First pitch swinging again as Cruz rolls that one foul, and it's 0-1.
Wow, wasn't in the pregame huddle with the Warriors, but you got to feel, their coach said, get after it on that first pitch. If you see something you like, take a swing at it, because they have been first pitch swingers tonight.
They saw the strikeout to walk ratio of Furch as well, as Furch will deliver downstairs for a ball, evening the count at 1-1. Well, I feel the past 3 or 4 seasons for Bishop Garrigan, the story has been very similar, as Furch gets ready to go into his motion here with an 0-1 count. The pitch. That is lined into left center field, and that one is down for a base hit. Going down to a knee to stop it as Kolash, and it'll be a base hit to start off the inning by Cruz for North Union as Carson Crouch now steps in. But the point in that being, it feels like each year Bishop Garrigan's gone into the season with a defined ace, but the question is, who are going to be the number 2 and 3 starters to fill in behind them? A lot of questions there, but they always seem to answer that question and find a really solid number 2 and number 3. Last year was Justin Bauer and Drew Lappy behind Dan Mice. Those two both graduated, and this year, Tate Furch has stepped up, and he is clearly that number 2 starter for the Golden Bears who's going to pitch a lot of key conference games, such as this one throughout the season.
You know, I couldn't agree more. I don't know what you call it in baseball. Do you call it armchair quarterbacks? No, you don't. I don't know. There's a word for it, but I totally agree. Every year there's a clear ace, and as a fans, we always say, who else is going to pitch for the Bears? But year after year, they always develop those 2 or 3 pitchers.
Cruz inching off of first base as Furch underneath the breaking ball that time as the pitch misses upstairs. 1-1 count here on Crouch. Crouch for North Union, 3 for 13 at the dish so far this season, 4 runs knocked in. North Union has had a weird season offensively so far as Furch fires pick off to first base. The late dive, close play, but back in there safely is Cruz. He dove late. He was late to react to that, almost like he got stuck in the dirt there, but barely got back in at first.
Oh, that was very close. Yeah, he was frozen. Sometimes you want to move, but your body just won't.
Furch with the kick and the pitch, and there is a wave and a miss. 1-2 count here on Crouch. Well, North Union so far this season, they've produced a lot of runs. In fact, they're averaging 10.2 runs per game, but their batting average so far, just .245. Small sample size for 6 games, but those are 2 numbers that are incongruent, as there's a big cut and miss by Crouch. That is strike 3 as Furch has his first punch out of the game. 1 out, 1 on. And they're doing it because they're certainly walking a lot. The opposing teams have committed some errors, but it's that clutch hitting with runners in scoring position that's been key for North Union as well, as they've produced a lot of runs, even if a relatively lower batting average than they'd want.
Yes, normally when you tell me a stat like that.
Pick off to first base. This time it's thrown away. It'll go to the fence, and getting up and motoring to second base is Cruz. And he will turn and burn to third base. Golden Bears slow getting the ball in. Throw to third, not in time. Golden Bears very slow getting to the ball that time, and taking advantage of that was Cruz. He stopped at second completely, restarted, and went to third. Golden Bears took forever to get to that one.
Well, aggressive base running, maybe that's an answer to how they score so many runs with such a low batting average. Aggressive on the base path, and when you tell me a stat like that, I would just assume that means they draw a lot of walks, but hard to believe they walk a lot, as aggressive as they're being with the bats tonight so far.
Yeah, a lot of first pitch swings here tonight, as there is another first pitch swing that's grounded through the third base coaching box, foul by Cooper Hoy.
You know, finding a way to win, if you find a way to win, no coach is going to criticize how you do it.
Nope, final score doesn't matter. The tally in the winner or loss column is what matters at the end of the day, as Bishop Garrigan has Carter Schwab in on the grass at first base. Third baseman Garrigan about even with the bag over there. 1 out, 1 on. Hoy batting for North Union as Furch snaps up a nice breaking ball in the zone to make it 0-2. Now, I do imagine stats are going to normalize as the season goes on. I think the batting average will go up for North Union. I mean, they hit .316 last year, so .245 is definitely below that, but they're producing runs one way or the other. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Deitring did not apply the tag. He'll flip it to first. Schwab will tag the bag, and nowhere to go at third base for Cruz as he stays put. Back-to-back Ks by Furch, and it's a runner at third of 2 away.
Boy, Furch did a great job setting up that last pitch. Just a beautiful curveball in the prior pitch. Had the batter looking for a fastball, and Furch put it just off the edge of the plate. Good throwdown by Deitering to Schwab there at first. That seems minimal in the book, but it's important because there's a runner on third.
Furch works from the windup this time and pours it over for a called strike, 0-1, as the infield goes back to normal depth here of 2 outs. Outfield relatively shallow for Colgrove. Now 3 for 18 on the season after that first at-bat. Colgrove, with that high leg kick of the front leg, taking that pitch. A breaker from Furch down and away for a ball. That's that tight breaking ball there, and it's 1-1. Furch wants to work quickly as the Golden Bear pitchers love their rhythm. Furch is ready before the catcher Deitring was. And that pitch will stay up and into Colgrove. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Wait, Tyler, you're not wrong. Right field and center field, awfully close. Looking for a chance to make a play at the plate, perhaps.
The 2-1 pitch, fouled straight back to the screen. Colgrove getting right after that one, and the count evens at 2-2.
Of course, and I'm not being facetious here, Tyler. You've got Nick Lear out in center field, who's very tall, so maybe it's a perception thing. It looks like he's much closer.
The wind and the 2-2 by Furch. Breaking ball called strike 3. He throws Colgrove, and Furch strikes out 3 batters in a row to keep this game scoreless. Bottom of the third next. No score between Bishop Garrigan and North Union on Hometown Radio, KLGA.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Central Financial Group, where you belong.
Down to Earth Tree Service, your local Algona tree service.
Styles Salon, your salon in Algona. Create yourself.
Farm and Home Services. View their listings at farmhomeservices.com.
Holmes Animal Clinic, animals large and small. They love them all.
Dance Connection and Tumbling by Michelle. Passionate about teaching, creative about dance. Visit their studio or danceconnectionbymichelle.com.
All bringing you this ball game.
We've got more sports club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
TAFE Wellness Center in Algona and Armstrong, keeping athletes in the game with chiropractic care. Take charge of your health.
Lichter's Garage Door Service and new installations. A reputation you can trust. Call 515-295-5988.
Ed Service Station, service you can trust.
J&J Custom Meats, continuing the traditions in Whittemore.
Ulrich Construction, let them do the work.
Sports club members bringing you this game.
Hey Golden Bear fans, this is Dan Mice. You're listening to Bishop Garrigan Baseball on KLGA.
Goose eggs on the scoreboard so far from Bishop Garrigan High School as the North Union Warriors and Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears are scoreless heading to the bottom of the third. It'll be Drew Moeller, Thad Kolash, and Tate Furch. 8, 9, and 1 in the Bishop Garrigan batting order this inning against Grayson Colgrove. Thus far, not a whole lot of offense on either side. Just one hit by North Union, no hits, and just one base runner for Bishop Garrigan. Although North Union did strand that runner on third base. Nice job by Tate Furch to battle back from that defensive miscue by the Golden Bears. Strand that runner on third for a couple of punch-outs and keep this game scoreless as it appears early. Runs are going to be at a premium here tonight.
Yeah, he seems like he's got his curveball going. I expect to see a lot more of that. I don't know where you stand, Tyler, but some people like to see some more run production when they're a spectator. I love these games that are defensive battles, and I think it's fun baseball.
I think it is too. There's an art to really good pitching that is fun to watch. Golden Bear fans won't want me to bring up last Friday night, but it was a treat to watch the way that Kane Cook pitched in that game, and frankly, how Dan Mice pitched. That was a pitcher's duel, and I think old school baseball fans can appreciate it, and even new school baseball fans. You see the way that these high schoolers are throwing now. There's some really good pitching out there. Left-handed hitter Moeller steps in. The senior right fielder will take a called strike from Colgrove, 0-1. Well, tough night for the Garrigan softball team over on the other diamond. Last I checked, I didn't see the final score, but Garrigan was down 15-0 in the top of the fourth as Ainsley Ulrich, one of the best athletes in this area, was able to lead North Union to a win in that one. Ulrich homered to start the game and then hit a 2-run double in that very same first inning, and the Warriors are off and running in that one. So Golden Bears softball team drops to 3-4, but North Union staying undefeated here early in the season. Here in the baseball diamond, no score as Moeller swings through a pitch in the zone. That's a 1-2 count. Looked like a two-seamer there from Colgrove as he works ahead of Moeller.
Boy, big cut by Moeller. He was going for that right field fence with that swing. Just missed it. Boy, Ainsley Ulrich, we've been watching her pitch for years now. She just gets better and better and better since her 8th grade year.
1-2 count. The kick and the pitch. Popped in the air, foul territory, out of play to the third base side, and we'll do it again for 1-2 count. Yeah, Ulrich, a headache for the Golden Bears in multiple sports, to say the least, but that North Union softball team, and really other sports too, that current class, that junior class of Ulrich and Shaylee Walder's one of the best hitters, and Briley Dime, Macy Bierstead, not a lot of good players in that same class. Sometimes you just get a good sports class that comes through, and I think the North Union softball team experiencing that right now as that pitch is up into the backstop to even the count at 2-2.
Colgrove shakes that one off. You always hate it when you're a pitcher and one just gets away from you. But sometimes you can be effectively wild. That'll make the batter think twice when Drew Moeller's a tall guy, and that was well over his head.
Outfield slightly towards right center field for Moeller. A 2-2 count from Colgrove. And he went off speed. That one stayed just outside. It did not come back over the corner as there's a good take by Moeller. And the count goes full at 3-2.
Boy, that is discipline by Moeller there. Colgrove was trying to. That pitch started way outside, but it came back in and almost caught the corner. But Moeller, with good discipline, lays off it.
The payoff pitch by Colgrove. Breaking ball, emergency hack there by Moeller, who was able to foul it off. He was caught in between there, but the good news is he kept that bat in the zone. Just a little check swing foul, and we will do it again at the 3-2 count. That's all you needed in that pitch, really. Just stay alive for one more.
Yeah, I don't know if he was trying to foul that off, but that was the perfect thing to do with that pitch.
3-2 count again. Here comes Colgrove. Swing and a miss. He powered the fastball by him. Ball pops out of the glove of Walters, but he picks it up and tags Mueller out. And that is out number 1 of the inning for the Golden Bears as Mueller is retired on Colgrove's third punch out.
Well, that's the kind of at-bat. He'll go back to the dugout now, and Coach Meister will say something along the lines of, that was a good battle, because he really was fighting off those pitches and had a good full count. I think Colgrove probably threw him at least 8 pitches there, but he lost the battle. We'll see the pitcher again here later in the game.
Well, you're also thinking that from a fatigue standpoint as well. Those 7, 8, 9 pitch at-bats, those slowly but surely run up the pitch count, although Colgrove has worked pretty efficiently so far in this ball game, so it's going to be a while before we're really fully concerned about the pitch count, but stuff like that happening early in the game may end up mattering in the 6th or 7th inning, especially if this is still a pitcher's duel between Colgrove and Furch. 1-0 count on Thad Kolash, right-handed hitting outfielder for the Golden Bears, as he will take just a bit outside in the fastball, and a 2-0 count.
That one was close to the corner. Colgrove thinks he got it. The umpire disagrees. Love those gentlemanly disagreements in the sports. Happen so often.
Colgrove now for 2-0 count. Brings the hands up high, then down to the belt, as he now delivers. And he skipped that one in the dirt. 3-0 count to Kolash.
Thad Kolash, one of those athletes for Bishop Garrigan, just graduated. Just stuck with sports that whole career and is really having a good, successful, especially finale to his senior year.
3-0 count. Colgrove with the motion and the pitch. And he missed outside for ball 4. Well, to finish up on Thad Kolash, he's a guy I like to say he really paid his dues. He sat on the bench for 4 years, and then your 5th year of high school baseball, since you can play in 8th grade, you finally get to start. So a lot of players would be out of the program if you didn't get to start by your junior year, but Kolash stuck around here, and he takes the starting spot here his senior season.
Well, let's go back to the love of your life, running. Thad Kolash had an impressive finale to his track season.
They'll try to pick him off at first base, but using that track speed, he dives back into first base. That 800-meter training paying off right there.
Yeah, I think his 800 split in their 4x8 down at State was very impressive for Thad. I'm sure it had to be a personal best by far.
Kolash inching off of first base as Tate Furch bats. The pitch, and Colgrove will burn another fastball over for a called strike. 0-1 on Furch. Second base runner of the ball game for the Golden Bears as Furch was on to start the game. Nothing since then. And then number 9 hitter Kolash able to get on via a walk. So just a couple of walks by Colgrove tonight. Still no hits allowed as there's 1 away here in the bottom of the 3rd. Colgrove stretching the pitch up and into Furch. Sailed the fastball up and over his head as Colgrove has fallen behind 2-0 against the last couple batters.
That was a great snag by the catcher. That was a half an inch from getting out of his glove and going to the fence and letting the runner move up. Coach Meister is going through the signs right now. He would love to get Thad Kolash over to second base. We'll see if they dial up a steal attempt here.
And beg your pardon now, a 1-1 count from Colgrove as that first pitch was over the plate. Colgrove stretching the 1-1. There goes Kolash. And ball is flying into right center field. This is going to be a long run out in center for Hoy. And it drops for a base hit. And it kicks past Hoy. Kolash stopped and then restarted. And he will stop at second base. Kolash thought that ball was going to be caught, so he was running on the pitch, then started going back to first and had to restart. So Golden Bears will only get first and second out of that, but it is the first hit of the ball game.
Well, the way Furch kind of took a half swing at that, you got to think maybe that was a hit and run. We'll never know for sure, but Kolash was definitely off to the races, and then he had to slam on the brakes when it looked like it might get caught. And a lot of action on that hit to the right center gap.
So 1 hit by each team so far. No score in the bottom of the 3rd inning as Colgrove works with his first real jam of the game. 2 on, 1 out, and the number 2 hitter, Aiden Deichtring, stepping up. He's going to try to bunt, and the pitch is over his head. Colgrove has sailed a couple of fastballs so far this inning, and some of the earlier control not quite as sharp here in inning number 3.
He seems to have better control with his curveball than the fastball this inning.
We'll see if he goes to it here against Deichtring. Not easy to bunt a curveball either if Deichtring squares around again. They'll look towards second base. Colgrove's 1-0. Deichtring is bunting, and he puts it up the first base line, and it's a beauty. Walters picks it up. He stumbles. He throws to first, and it's wide. It's up the right field line. Here comes Kolash as he scores. Ball still out in right field. Being waved around as Furch. Throw back to the infield, and relay throw goes to third base. Slide safe at third. 2-0 Bishop Garrigan on a bunt that was thrown down the right field line. Well, it took an error, but the Golden Bears do produce some offense, and they take an early 2-0 lead.
Wow, coaches love that when their small ball gets way more than they bargained for. They're just trying to move the runners up to second and third, and they end up scoring 2, and Aiden Deichtring ends up on third. Got to say Aiden because his brother Alec is catching and not batting, but Aiden Deichtring, nice bunt. If the catcher could do it all again, I think he'd let it spin and try to roll foul, but he was impatient. He picked it up and threw it away.
And North Union bringing the infield in here in the third inning. That's how important runs are going to be tonight. Runner at third, one out. 2-0 Bishop Garrigan as Carter Schwab stands in to pick off the third base, but nothing doing as Deitring scampers back in there. I say this a lot at the high school level, too. Bunts are a really hard play sometimes for high school teams to defend. I know the bunt has been devalued at the higher levels, and we can argue about that all day long, whether that's good or bad, but I do feel at the high school level, that's still a pretty high-value play because a lot of times bunts end up going for a hit. A lot of times fielders just really do struggle with the assignments on bunts because it's knowing who's going to cover what base, who's taking the ball, is the pitcher getting it, is the catcher getting it, is the first baseman getting it, so you have to have that kind of stuff worked out in practice. 2-0 count, make that a 2-0 lead for Bishop Garrigan as Schwab will take that pitch a little bit outside. A 1-0 count now from Colgrove.
Well, going back to the bunt, the catcher did do a nice job coming out of his stance, picked up the ball, and he gave his first baseman time to set up inside so they wouldn't throw through the runner. They did everything right. It just sailed wide.
Infield in, outfield around towards right center for Schwab. As that one, similar pitch, but it caught the black on the outside corner, and the count evens at 1-1.
You know, Tyler, it is the worst experience when that ball leaves your hand and you see it going awry. And you just hope maybe your teammate can make an unbelievable leaping catch. But then it doesn't happen. It's a bad feeling when you're that player.
Yeah, you just wish you could take it back when you release the ball. As Schwab with a healthy cut in the miss. Swung through the letter-high fastballs. The count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Schwab over 1 of a ground at the first so far tonight. And the Golden Bears have a chance to put a 3 spot on the board here in the third inning. Runner at third and 1 out. For a team that has been hungry for offense as of late. The kick and the 1-2 pitch. That ball's flied in the air pretty deep towards left center field. That is near the gap. Moving over, though, is Cruz, and he makes the grab. Tabbing up is Deitring, and they're not even going to make a play on him at home. Deitring scores on the sacrifice fly. Schwab gets the job done, and it's 3-0 Bishop Garrigan. And again, it's the simple things in baseball. You put the ball in play for runner in third in less than 2 outs, and good things usually happen. And for a team that has struggled offensively like the Golden Bears have, you just like to see that.
Oh, you do. Any sort of, you get a sac fly, not to mention, I think Carter Schwab could execute that hit if he had to with the game on the line. Just lift that ball to the outfield, bring in the runner at third. That's something in the arsenal.
Galligan blasts the first pitch towards the left center field gap again. Racing over his Cruz, and that one drops for a base hit. Galligan turning and burning towards second base, and he will go in there for a 2-out double. And the Golden Bears starting to swing the bats here. The second time for the batting order against Colgrove.
Well, Galligan put a charge into that pitch. Whoa, he drove that to the gap. Nice job by Brady Galligan. Good to see him running the bases really well also. He had a knee injury earlier this year, kind of kept him out for a bit of the track season. All track season? A bit.
I don't know if he ran it in early meet, but definitely by the end of the track season he was out. He missed most of it, if not all of it.
Yeah, so he's been nursing that knee to get it because he really wants to play the senior season of baseball. So he's doing a nice job getting that knee. He looked really smooth on the base pass there.
Galligan now at second base. Dan Mice, who is 0 for 1 today, up to the plate, and a 3-0 Bishop Garrigan lead. And the person who is loving this the most is Tate Furch in that third base Bishop Garrigan dugout with a little run support tonight. The kick and the pitch. Down and away, kicks away from Walters to the backstop, and up to third base will go Galligan.
This is the kind of inning that not only is Colgrove really frustrated that he's given up these runs on a bunt, but the catcher also starting to feel it as well. So you got a pitcher and catcher for the Warriors here, just trying their best to get out of this inning. They got 2 outs, but now another runner on third.
And now Walters has to be ready if another run goes in the dirt here. 1-0 pitch. There's a swing and a foul back to the screen as that one was tapped backwards by Mice. And the count evens up 1 ball and 1 strike. 3-0 Golden Bears right now. Bishop Garrigan came into this game averaging 5 runs per game. They were only allowing 1.8 runs per game. And you look at the stats so far, the highest opposing run total for Bishop Garrigan this season. They allowed 5 runs in the season opener to the Algona Bulldogs. Every other team they've played, they've held to 4 or less. The kick and the pitch by Colgrove. Snapped off a nice breaking ball and found the zone. 1-2 now against Mice.
Boy, that was a nice pitch. It got Mice ducking a little bit. Just a big breaker by Colgrove. Controls it really well. Like I said, I think that pitch is better than his fastball at the moment.
Colgrove settling in. 3-0 Bishop Garrigan. The 1-2 count pitch. Down and away, kicks away from Walters, and staying at third base is Galligan. He did not get a great read on that one as it kicked over to the right side, and he will stay put at third off a 2-2 count.
Good decision by Galligan. Walters is quick. He just leaps right out of that catcher stance and was on that ball in a heartbeat. Good read. Would have been a tough play at the plate. And like we said, why risk that knee for Galligan?
2-2 count. The pitch to Mice. Wave and a miss for strike 3. Colgrove extinguishes Mice, and the inning is over. But Bishop Garrigan puts the first 3 runs of the game on the scoreboard. We move to the 4th. 3-0 Bishop Garrigan on Hometown Radio, KLGA.
Thank you to these Sports Club members bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Good Samaritan Society, Algona's senior housing and services rooted in God's love.
Feed Mill Coffee Company, Algona's locally owned coffee shop.
Tangle Salon for all your cuts, colors, hair extensions, and massage therapy needs.
Schindler Lawn Care and Landscaping, 515-320-3840.
All bringing you this ball game.
Thank you to these Sports Club members bringing you this game.
Runkey Brothers Full Service. Experience the Runkey Brothers difference for all your auto service and repair needs.
Hy-Vee. Use the Fuel Saver card. Fill your cart, fuel your car.
North Iowa Appliance Center, Highway 18 East in Algona, where they sell the best and service the rest.
Erpelding Excavating Enterprises. Let them take care of your grading, excavating, and drainage needs.
Erpelding Void & Company CPAs. They're not just about taxes.
Sports Club members bringing you this game.
Hey Golden Bear fans, this is Tate Furch, and you're listening to Bishop Garrigan Baseball on KLGA.
Tate Furch goes first pitch, breaking ball to Caden Walders for ball 1. It's Walders, Merrill, and Bollinger, 2, 3, and 4 in the Warrior batting order, and 3 of the most well-known names in their boys sports program. Ground ball to third base, bobbled by Galligan. He recovers, throws to first. Schwab picks it, and it's out at first. Schwab held the bag as he was going down and was able to pick that low throw by Galligan. What a play for the first out.
What a scoop by Schwab. It was a backhanded scoop, the hardest of the scoops. And like you said, Tyler, he was kind of tumbling when he went to get that ball, but just glued that back foot to the base long enough.
And what a play for the first base umpire as well. So there's a first pitch cut and a miss by Merrill. The umpire had to watch, is his foot on the bag? Is the ball in the glove? Did the runner beat the ball or did the ball beat the runner? So there are really 3 aspects of that play to watch. As there's a tapper towards shortstop by Merrill. It is charged by Mice. Mice guns it across the diamond, and with his great right arm able to retire the speeding Merrill at first base. Another quick 2 up, 2 down for Tate Furch, who has started the last 2 batters with breaking balls. Furch has seen the Warriors are swinging at that first pitch fastball, so he's going curveball on the first pitch here to try to get them off the scent.
He also seems to have taken a page from the Daniel Mice playbook and is not taking much time in between pitches at all, just going from pitch to pitch with no break.
Brendan Bollinger delivers on the outside corner for a called strike, 0-1. Well, if you're the Warriors and Furch is starting to speed you up, wonder if their battles will start to step out of the box a little more as this game goes on, as Furch goes curveball there for a ball, 1-1.
He's throwing a lot of curveballs so far this inning. Only thrown about 6 pitches, but I think 4 of them have been hooks.
There have been a couple of lightning quick innings for Furch so far as he pulls the curveball outside to make it 2-1 on Bollinger. Rizak on deck for North Union, as Rizak was hit by a pitch his last time up. Bollinger 0-for-1. Furch tried to dot the fastball, but missed a couple of inches out, and the count goes 3 balls and 1 strike on Bollinger.
There's a fastball, just missed, maybe a little upstairs. Furch scratches his head.
3-1 pitch, and he bounced that fastball in there for ball 4 as Bollinger draws the 2-out walk. So 1 on, 2 outs for North Union, and Rizak will get a chance to bat this inning, with North Union trailing Bishop Garrigan 3-0 right now.
So I have no issue when pitchers want to really speed up the game and not take that break, kind of give themselves their own pitch clock. But sometimes when you really speed up too fast, you don't get yourself set.
First pitch to Rizak, and another off-speed offering by Furch, but that one caught the outside part of the zone for a strike, 0-1. Outfield tonight playing very shallow for Bishop Garrigan. Once again, pretty shallow outfield here for Rizak. Furch stretching the 0-1 pitch. There is a tapper back to the screen foul, and it's 0-2. Pretty normal dimensions out here at the field. 310 to left field and right field down the lines, and 335 to the left center and right center field gaps. But Garrigan doesn't want any blue pits getting in front of them here tonight, as quick mound visit here between Deitring and Furch.
We're just starting to get to that point of the night where the lights haven't really taken effect yet, but the sun is going down, and some weird, it's not shadows, but just the weird, the ball looks different in the sky. Sometimes plays tricks with those outfielders.
Furch hands to the belt, 0-2 pitch, and he snaps off another breaking ball for strike 3 as Rizak fans on that one. Bollinger is stranded at first base, and Tate Furch keeps it a 3-0 Bishop Garrigan lead as we move to the bottom half of 4 from Bishop Garrigan High School and on KLGA 92.7.
When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at MoneyPass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Signworks Inc. For all your signage needs and printed apparel, stop in or call 295-9544.
New Way K&H Co-op, delivering exceptional value through knowledge and innovation.
West Bend Ford, meeting your service, new and used vehicle needs.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country, carrying steel and Toro products and Green Mountain pellet grills.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
Back here at Bishop Garrigan High School, where the Golden Bears right now have a 3-0 lead over the North Union Warriors on Hometown Radio KLGA. I'm Tyler Lance alongside Beanie Bodie. It'll be Nick Lear, Caden Graves, and Drew Muller this inning for Bishop Garrigan, as Lear 0 for 1 of a punch-out against Grayson Colgrove. 3-0 Golden Bears. All 3 of those runs in the bottom of the 3rd inning, as Colgrove had to work hard that inning, throw a lot of pitches, and an error also helped out the Golden Bear cause as well. We'll see if the momentum continues this inning as Colgrove works from the stretch and brings it to Lear. Lear, first pitch, cut and a miss, 0-1.
Lear, one of the seniors on this Bishop Garrigan team, they are going to get on the bus tomorrow morning early, heading to Carroll for the CYO tournament, I believe.
That is correct. They're going to start off the day against Galen Catholic, and then we'll see who their next opponent is after that. 0-1 from Colgrove. And he pulled that fastball outside for a ball, evening the count at 1-1.
Well, the CYO tournament is a fun event, especially for those seniors. They've been going to that all those years and watching, sometimes getting in the game. But to get to play in the CYO tournament as a senior is a special deal.
Oh, I think it's over in Lamar's this year. I'll have to double-check that, but 1-1 count is popped high in the air behind home plate. Wallers gives it a look. That ball is bleacher-bound, and it'll land harmlessly behind and out of play for a foul. 1-2 count on Lear. I must say, I like how aggressive Nick Lear has been at the plate so far for the Golden Bears. I think the early scouting report coming into the season on Bishop Garrigan was just get right after them, you know, get strike 1, get strike 2. They're a patient offense, so let's use that patience against them. But Lear really is not letting the opposing pitchers spot strike 1 just in the zone. He is getting up there and swinging at the first pitch if it's there. Colgrove with a 1-2 count now on Lear. The tall right-handed senior for the Golden Bears. The North Union sophomore brings the 1-2. Lear fouls it one straight back towards your living room, as we'll do it again at the 1-2 count.
Well, you're not wrong, Tyler. Nick Lear does let the hands fly. He sees a pitch that he can get those long arms out, and he's got a big zone, and he's got a lot of reach, and not many holes in his swing. So, yeah, he's primed to have a good season here. Just warming up here, I think, is Nick Lear.
Lear back into the box. I think maybe an inch off that back line as he stands in of a 1-2 count. Colgrove's next offering. And that breaking ball stayed upstairs. Even to Lear, that's a high pitch, about eye level, and the count evens 2-2.
He'd try to do himself a favor. If you're a really tall guy, sometimes you can bend the knees a little more, duck a little bit, make the umpire realize that that's really too tall for me.
2-2 count. Here comes Colgrove again. And he sailed that fastball up high. 3-2 count. Those high misses have been a trend so far for Colgrove. A lot of fastballs up and out of the zone on pitches that he has missed on. 3 runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the Golden Bears. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error for the Warriors. Colgrove ready again as he brings the payoff pitch. Lear fouls that one straight back. Another long at bat here for the Golden Bears. Lear will see pitch number 7 on this next one.
Boy, Lear is doing a nice job stepping out after these foul balls and regaining his focus, getting his composure back in order. Can't figure out why he's just missing these balls just by a little bit, but he's having a good at-bat here with a full count, making Colgrove throw a lot of pitches, trying to get someone on base here with no outs in the bottom of 4.
Well, the more pitches you see, the more you start to time up the opposing pitcher. We'll see if Colgrove goes curveball here, 3-2. He's been controlling that breaking ball well so far in this game. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. He went fastball. It's ground ball towards third base. Gobbled up by Stevens. Guns it across the diamond. And beats Lear by a couple of steps for out number 1 of the inning. So Colgrove wins that 7-pitch battle. And it's 1 out, nobody on for Caden Graves, who grounded out to the pitcher his last time up. Well, Beanie, it's always a big rivalry between Bishop Garrigan and North Union, and we'll be seeing it on the football gridiron here this fall for the first time in several years, as North Union moving down to 8-player this year. So get ready for a big battle in district football. Another area team joining that 8-player district of Bishop Garrigan.
Wow, that's exciting stuff. 8-player, 8-man for North Union. A short drive, that's what I like.
I like that as well. Trust me, folks, as that pitch is upstairs for a ball. Although for the district assignment, they are sticking us with that drive to Riceville this year. If you want to go visit the Wildcats.
Hey, I don't know if you know the date on that yet, but I'm busy.
Ah, man. I don't know, Beanie. I might make up some crazy stories about you if you don't go to that game. I don't know what kind of attractions there are in Riceville, but I would recommend not climbing atop any of them, lest you attract the attention of the local PD.
All right, I'm in. I'm sold. I'm going to Riceville.
2-0 count. Colgrove's pitch to Graves. And he pulled that one outside for a ball. 3-0 here on Graves.
Well, there is no way Caden Graves is swinging at this pitch 3-0. He wants to be at base runner. He's got to, Colgrove has got to throw 2 strikes to Caden Graves here.
Graves dug in on the inside part of the box. Colgrove's 3-0. Graves is taking as Colgrove with a put-me-over pitch right there to make it 3-1.
And again, it's 3-1, but I don't think Caden Graves is going to, he's got the swing away sign, but he's not going to be too eager to pull the trigger.
Golden Bears looking for base runners. 1 out, nobody on. Colgrove's 3-1. And he missed down and away for ball 4. Pitch goes to the backstop, but Walters quickly to it. As another walk here for Bishop Garrigan. Colgrove just not quite as sharp as he was in the early innings of this game, as that is now walk number 3. Drew Muller, 0 for 1 with a K, stepping in now.
Boy, now earlier in the third, when Thad Kolash got on first base, you could just tell the Bears really wanted to move him over to second base. Well, now with Drew Muller to the plate, Caden Graves at first, and a 3-run lead. Maybe not as much pressure on the base runner.
Here's Colgrove, hands of the belt. Graves took a little running secondary lead there, but not going as that pitch missed up and away for a ball. 1-0 to Muller.
Now Colgrove, when he misses the strike zone here this inning, and last inning, he's missing pretty big. A lot of high pitches. Good opportunity for Caden Graves just to move over to second on the pass ball.
Yeah, you'll hear the term competitive pitches from coaches a lot. Some of these pitches are not competitive. They're not tempting a swing. 1-0 pitch. Muller is bunting. It's in between the mound and home plate. Bare hand grab by Colgrove. Sidearms it to first, and it's in time to get Muller. Sacrifice is complete as Graves goes up to second base, but now 2 away for the Golden Bears, who will take 1 shot at this with Thad Kolash.
Very good sacrifice bunt there by Drew Muller, another senior. Pretty good amount of seniors on this team. I believe 5. I think that's pretty solid for the Bishop Garrigan baseball team. A lot of seniors. Good bunt there by Drew Muller, sacrificing Caden Graves over to second base. And another senior, Thad Kolash, comes to the plate. Got to bring him in.
So Kolash batting here, hitting 1 step off the back of the back line of that batter's box. Graves is at second base. The middle infield dancing around there for North Union as the pitch is outside, as Walters had to slide over towards his right and make sure he got his glove to that ball. 1-0 count.
Normally when the pitcher is struggling with his control, I'm a little hesitant to give the sign for the bunt because I think, hey, we might get a wild pitch here. But you can see in this situation, Coach Meister definitely wants to work on that bunt, and last time they did, they scored.
Kolash, wave and a miss as the count evens. 1 ball and 1 strike. Crouch, the shortstop, and Rezak, the second baseman, are taking turns dancing in behind Caden Graves, with Colgrove not paying a whole lot of attention there to second base of 2 outs. 1-1 here to Kolash, with Furch waiting on deck. 3-0 Bishop Garrigan in the bottom of the 4th inning as time is called at home plate. And Kolash will go have a conversation with Coach Meister over at third base.
I mean, Coach Meister wants to make sure Thad realizes what the sign that was given. It could be pretty straightforward. Caden Graves at second base needs someone to hit him in. Or maybe they're just talking about what they're doing tomorrow. Who knows what the coach and the player are talking about.
Yeah, do you know, remember what time the bus leaves?
That's
Make
right.
sure you remember your uniform. We're wearing this uniform, not that one.
Well, there is a bit of a split roster here because big event going on tomorrow in the Bishop Garrigan community. Former student is becoming an ordained priest tomorrow. And I know that was a little conflict. Some guys wanted to go to the ordination.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. And downstairs, kept in front by Walters, and the count goes 2-1. That's happening over in the Sioux City area, right? If Garrigan's going to Lamar's tomorrow, maybe they can swing by.
Yeah, that would be pretty fun to show up in the uniforms. Yeah, Jake Rosemeyer, current deacon, will be ordained a priest in Sioux City tomorrow. A lot of people from our community heading over there.
The 2-1 from Colgrove. And that one caught the top of the zone. Count even 2-2 now to Kolash.
Kolash having a battle in there. 2-2 count. Can he pull through and bring in Caden Graves?
Well, it's a 3-0 lead right now, but It feels bigger than 3-0 with the way Tate Furch is pitching. An insurance run would certainly be beneficial, though, as the next pitch rolled towards third base. Staying back on it is Stevens. Stevens throws across the diamond and low throw, but it stays off the ground as Bollinger catches it, and that is out number 3 of the inning. The Golden Bears do not score as they strand a runner at second base. Kolash on the ground at the third, and will move now to the top of the 5th inning. Bishop Garrigan leading North Union 3-0 on Hometown Radio KLGA.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Central Financial Group, where you belong.
Down to Earth Tree Service, your local Algona tree service.
Styles Salon, your salon in Algona. Create yourself.
Farm and Home Services. View their listings at farmhomeservices.com.
Holmes Animal Clinic, animals large and small. They love them all.
Dance Connection and Tumbling by Michelle. Passionate about teaching, creative about dance. Visit their studio or danceconnectionbymichelle.com.
All bringing you this ball game.
We've got more sports club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
TAFE Wellness Center in Algona and Armstrong, keeping athletes in the game with chiropractic care. Take charge of your health.
Lichter's Garage Door Service and new installations. A reputation you can trust. Call 515-295-5988.
Ed Service Station. Service you can trust.
J&J Custom Meats, continuing the traditions in Whittemore.
Ulrich Construction. Let them do the work.
Sports Club members bringing you this game.
Top of the 5th inning from Bishop Garrigan High School. It is Bishop Garrigan 3 and North Union nothing, as the Warriors will have Wiley Stevens, Cullen Cruz, and Carson Crouch due to bat this inning. It hasn't exactly been an offensive display, as there's a first pitch ground ball to shortstop by Stevens. It is bobbled by Mice, and he bobbles it again as Stevens is safe at first. He had a chance to recollect that ball after the initial bobble and still get Stevens, but that'll be an E6, putting the runner on board for North Union. Well, it really hasn't been a huge offensive night for either team. Just 2 hits for Bishop Garrigan, who came into this game hitting 198, and just 1 hit for North Union. But the difference is Bishop Garrigan had 1 big opportunity, and they were able to capitalize on it, helped by 1 big defensive mistake for North Union, and that's why we stand here with a 3-0 game. It was a bunt that was laid down, that was thrown down the right field line, that allowed 2 runs to score. Is now a wild pitch by Furch, and cruising up to second base will be Stevens.
That was Aiden Didering back in the 3rd. Just lays down a bunt, and it set everything in motion. Other than that, boy, it's been a pitching duel. Tate Furch been doing a really nice job on the hill for the Bears. Cole Grove for the Warriors.
Furch with the kick and the pitch. Up and in for a ball as the count goes 2-0 on Colin Cruz, the left fielder. Cruz came into tonight with 3 hits and 14 at-bats for North Union, with 3 runs driven in. A much lower scoring game here tonight than North Union's been playing, as that pitch is upstairs for a ball, as now it's Furch's turn to have a few high and out of the zone, 3-0 count.
Well, Tyler, lots of confirmation coming in over the air that COA was definitely in Lamar's. People are reminded, don't want anyone driving to Carroll because I said it wrong. definitely in Lamar's. And also, September 5th is the Riceville game, and Coach Wiley says they're going to be wearing pink uniforms that one if I show up.
Oh, man. Are they like a City Edition uniform? Is that what that is?
Yeah, we're going to get some City Edition uniforms in 8-man football in Iowa. That's going to be some nice designs.
Well, we'll see if those new City Edition uniforms show up. Well, now you have to go, Beanie. We've got to go there and see those uniforms. And if you don't show up, they'll just wear their normal uniforms. So
I want to see them for sure. Well, Coach Meissen wanted to go out and talk to Tate Furch, felt that Tate didn't quite have the focus he wanted, and it shows with a runner on second base who got on with an error and then advanced on a pass ball, and that will get a coach wanting to tighten up the defense.
The pitch to Cruz, and that one will be a called strike as it caught the corner. 3-1 now on the North Union left fielder. Well, you don't need all 3 this inning if you're North Union, but you really feel like you definitely need 1 here while you got that leadoff runner on board against Furch. And that is a called strike. Boy, did Deitering frame that one. Furch may have caught a break on that as the count goes full at 3-2.
Yeah, that was a nice pitch and a good job by Deitering. Even if it gets called a ball, boy, it made that batter think about pulling that trigger. Now Furch is going to put it anywhere he wants now.
3-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss, but the ball goes to the backstop. Runners are advancing for North Union. Throw to first base, and Schwab has to come off the bag to field that one. It'll be runners at the corners for North Union, so that previous pitch probably should have been ball 4. Cruz ends up striking out, but he's on first as the pitch was in the dirt and it got away, so it ends up with the similar result anyways. First and third, and nobody out for North Union.
Well, that's what I meant by Furch could put that ball anywhere he want. You could see that batter after that strike call was going to have to swing at anything. He was on his toes, ready to swing, and Furch did just that. He threw a pitch well into the dirt, out of the zone, but too tough for Deitering to handle there.
We'll see if we see Cruz steals second. Furch is thinking the same thing as he fires a pick off the first base, but Cruz goes back into the dive.
One of the fun things about Tate Furch, any sport, doesn't matter what, he's such a competitor. He does not like these guys at first and third unearned.
Furch, stretch and the pitch. And that pitch is a little bit upstairs for a ball to the number 8 hitter, Carson Crouch. And the count, 2 balls and no strikes.
Earlier in the game, the catcher, Alec Didering, threw out a North Union runner. And first and third, they're a little hesitant, but here they go.
Oh, they fake the first to third move, and now it's a pickle between first and second. The throw to second base, they're going home. They hesitate, and now they're going to get no outs. A blunder defensively by Bishop Garrigan as Mice threw home. He was thinking about tagging the runner out at second base and conceding the run. He threw home late, and now the Golden Bears get 0 outs of that play as North Union has a runner at second base with nobody away.
Maybe some confusion, maybe some miscommunication. Was that it's Mice and Didering out there, and it looks like they were maybe hesitating on what they should do on that play because, boy, that runner took off, and he was 3/4 of the way to the second base before they looked like they had decided how they're going to play it.
Well, that works out beautifully for North Union, who's on the board. It is 3-1, and Carson Crouch will take a weird jab at the bunt. He showed that bunt very late. The pitch was almost on top of him by the time he squared, and then he jabbed at a pitch that was head high to even the count at 1-1.
I don't think he meant to, but it ended up being kind of a self-defense attempt before that ball hit him.
Furch misses upstairs for a ball, kind of the same spot. That time Crouch not showing bunt, as Golden Bears have the corner infielders in. Schwab will stay in on the grass at first base in case Crouch brings the bunt attempt back here. Furch gets the fastball in the high outside corner for a called strike, and it's even at 2-2.
Now this would be a good strikeout for Furch, give him some confidence. This is what you least like as a pitcher, when you're pitching fine, but it's just not going your way.
Furch 2-2. Breaking ball line towards right field, dropping in a hurry, and it's down in front of Moeller for a base hit. Moving up to third base, 90 feet is Cruz, as he had to see if that ball would be caught or not, and it got out to Moeller quickly in right field on the line drive. So Carson Crouch did not get the bunt down, but a nice opposite field piece of hitting there, and it's first and third for the Warriors, and all of a sudden, a chance to really even the score here against Bishop Garrigan. Still nobody out, and the biggest threat that Tate Furch has faced in this ball game.
Now here we are, first and third again. Tough situation, and freshman catcher behind the plate.
Cooper Hoy will take the first pitch for a called strike, 0-1. Well, do you try to take off again and force Bishop Garrigan into another defensive decision?
Boy, if you go to that well twice, seems risky.
Furch with the pitch, runner is moving. Dietrich is going to throw through. They cut the ball off. They're coming home with the play, and the ball's bobbled at home plate. The throw was a little bit outside and in on a hop, but it was in time. But the ball was bobbled, and coming home to score from third base is Cruz. North Union, you can see how they've manufactured runs here this season, Beanie, as they have manufactured a couple this inning of base running. It's 3-2.
Yeah, that was a set play by the Bears. That they did it just how they practiced it. Didering, the second baseman, stepped in, cut off the throw from his brother Didering, the catcher, and they waited till they could get that runner at the plate, but the throw got bobbled.
And now you have Cooper Hoy batting with a 1-2 count as Furch delivers a called strike. Hoy did not show bunt there, so he will be relied on to hit that runner to third base some way or the other. The 1-2 from Furch, and fastball outside. Hoy not tempted on that one as the count evens. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Garrigan stays very shallow across the outfield. Even with that shallow outfield, the previous batter, Crouch, was still able to line in that ball to right field in front of Moeller. 2-2 pitch, and Hoy hits a sky-high pop-up right side of the infield. Schwab into foul territory, drifting and backpedaling and making the grab for out number 1 of the inning. Crouch will have to stay put at second base.
Will that take a little bit of relief for the Bears? That pop-up spells relief because, geez, it seemed like they were never going to be able to pull off any outs. Everything's going the Warriors' way. I mean, they've got 2 runs off just 2 hits, and Schwab makes that nice catch, get 1 out started.
Grayson Colgrove now batting. The pitch to Colgrove, up and in for a ball. 1-0 here on the North Union sophomore, who is over 2 so far in today's ball game. 3-2 Bishop Garrigan. Warriors have the tying run at second base in the top of the 5th, with 2 runs already in against Tate Furch. And of how well Furch has pitched so far in this game, you would really like to see North Union even the score here if you're a Warrior fan, as Colgrove chased a pitch that was up and in. Almost a defensive hack right there when he saw the fastball bearing it on his hands as the count goes to 1-1.
Tate Furch really going for here, putting a little more velocity on these pitches. They're going upstairs a little bit.
Furch bends in a nice breaking ball. 1-2 count. That was a knee buckler right there.
Oh, the batter is on the ropes. You can just feel it. Furch has got the fastball humming a little hot. His curveball's sweet right now. I expect to see that one. Here it comes.
Furch is 1-2. And he went back to the fastball for strike 3. Good pitch mix there by Tate Furch, changing speeds on Colgrove and blowing him away for the Heat for out number 2.
Boy, yeah, he blew that one by him, showing good velocity. Furch on the hill. Now can they strand the runner at second base and leave this top of the 5th with the lead?
Well, the dangerous Caden Walters stepping into the batter's box. 6 RBI in the season. The pitch to Walters, inside, and it drilled him. Furch came into the kitchen with the fastball, and it'll be first and second here for North Union as a high pitch and high stress inning continues for Tate Furch.
Well, Walters did not like that. He's a catcher. He gets hit with enough balls as the catcher behind the plate, and that one dinged him right on that left arm, it looked like.
I was going to make that exact comment, Beanie. It's just a continued beating here at a very physical position on the baseball diamond. Next.
You always got to feel for those catchers, Tyler. Did you ever want to be a catcher and take that beating behind the plate?
You know, the funny thing is, I don't have the body of a catcher. Like, thin, wiry guy doesn't usually catch. So whenever I got to catch, it was a big treat. That would be a, like, once every 3 years type of thing for me that they would stick me behind the plate. And definitely not in any important games, I can tell you that. As Furch will step off the mound here.
Well, now the Bears, after looking like they were on the ropes, just 1 out away from getting out of this inning with the lead intact.
Max Merrill, number 3 hitter, attacks the first pitch and rolls it towards shortstop. Charged by Mice. He'll go to the second base bag unassisted, and the Golden Bears are out of the inning. But North Union does score 2 runs. Warriors back to the ball game as it's Bishop Garrigan 3 and North Union 2. Bottom of the 5th coming up next on Hometown Radio, KLGA.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Signworks Inc. For all your signage needs and printed apparel, stop in or call 295-9544.
New Way K&H Co-op, delivering exceptional value through knowledge and innovation.
West Bend Ford, meeting your service, new and used vehicle needs.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country, carrying steel and Toro products and Green Mountain pellet grills.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
All sponsors of this game broadcast. High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
American Glass, for all your glass needs, think American.
Farm Bureau Financial Agents Dave Beisch, Daniel Foth, and Michael Tull.
Chemco Tires, they're all you need to know about tires and service.
Wykert Realtors, the 515 Agency, a fresh approach to real estate.
Grassmasters, growing satisfied customers.
Iowa Lakes Community College, your community, your college.
Glenn's Green Thumb, from a small seed, something beautiful will grow.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
Things getting a little bit interesting here from Bishop Garrigan High School. North Union fights back and they put 2 runs on the scoreboard. Bishop Garrigan 3 and North Union 2. This has been a pitcher's duel so far in this game, as finishing up his warm-up tosses there was Colgrove. He threw his final warm-up pitch, and Walters threw the ball down to second base. The Warrior middle infielders weren't ready for that ball and nearly got taken out there by that throw down to second. But fortunately, that ball didn't hit anybody, as we now get ready to go here at the top of the Bishop Garrigan batting order. Tate Furch, Aiden Deitring, and Carter Schwab this inning for Bishop Garrigan. All of a sudden, with a razor-thin margin, a 1-run lead. Furch so far today has walked and singled, 1 for 1 with a couple of appearances on the base paths. Right-handed hitting pitcher, out of an ever so slightly open stance. And first pitch is in on the hands of Furch for a called strike, 0-1. Well, Bishop Garrigan, they've won 11 of their last 12 against North Union, but it's always a competitive game when these two teams match up. The Warriors' last win against Bishop Garrigan was 4-3 on June 2nd of 2023, when the Warriors scored 2 runs in the top of the 7th inning to steal that game here at Bishop Garrigan High School. Furch will foul that one back, 0-2. That was a particularly damaging loss that season. I truly believe the Golden Bears would have been hosting a district championship game if they had won that ball game, but instead they had to go to Newell Fonda, where they were defeated 5-2 by a really good Mustang team that year. 0-2. Here's the set by Colgrove. Long hold and the pitch. And the breaking ball fought off by Furch. Colgrove tried to put him away with the breaking ball, but Furch able to foul it back, and it will stay a no ball and 2 strike count.
Everybody was frozen in time there. Colgrove does the long pause. I thought Furch was going to call timeout, but instead we were all just frozen. Furch did a good job fouling off a very good curveball by Colgrove.
And even if nobody on base, it can be beneficial to mix up your tempo as a pitcher. The set by Colgrove, and time called at home plate. A lot of times coaches talk about that when the runner's on base. Hey, sometimes take 2 seconds, sometimes take 3, sometimes take 4, so the runner can't time you up. But I guess that you could say the same when its base is empty and the batter's up to the plate. Don't let the batter get in a rhythm either. 0-2 count. The sophomore Colgrove for the 0-2. Inside and it hit Furch. Oh boy, big bat flip there by Tate Furch after that hit by pitch. I don't think Colgrove was really trying to do that on an 0-2 count, but Furch, like the previous catcher, Caden Walters, who got hit by a pitch, he's not happy to be hit either.
No, he's not. These catchers do not like getting hit. They get hit enough. That one got Furch squarely in the left shoulder. He turned into it, took it off the left shoulder blade. That had to sting a little bit. And you're right. He's threw the bat in frustration, gives a look at his counterpart there, and now he's getting a huge lead.
Here comes a steal right here. You can just feel it for Tate Furch. Colgrove better step off. Nope, secondary lead by Furch. Squaring to butt his Deitring, and Furch dives back into first base.
Yeah, he knew.
Furch looks like he wants to punish the pitcher for hitting it.
Yes, he does, and he got a huge lead there. And then he realized he's too far off the base, and he dove back into first after the pitch. Didn't want to get tagged by the catcher.
Deitring had that bunt the last time up that went for an error. A 2-run error by North Union. Furch is taking off. Deitring pulls the bat back. Ball's dropped by Walters behind home plate. He throws late anyways, but not nearly in time to get Furch. My prediction was correct. One pitch late as Furch swipes second, and the Golden Bears have a big insurance run out there in scoring position right now.
Boy, you were right. Furch was just dead set on stealing second. I don't think the coach even had to tell him to steal. He was going to do it one way or the other. Plus, Furch is the pitcher. He could get a courtesy runner if he wanted, but you can see that he wants to run the bases.
1-1 count to Deitring. A bunt may still be in play here as Deitring is not bunting. He is taking, and that pitch is a called strike, 1-2. So I guess that was just a show-me bunt when Furch was stealing before, because you'd think if you'd bunt with a runner on first and nobody out, you'd do it with a runner at second and nobody out, but it's now on Deitring to swing the bat here for 1-2 count. Furch at second. Colgrove trying to work around a little bit of traffic here in the fifth, that is. Here's the sophomore's 1-2 pitch. Outside, and a great play by Walters to prevent a wild pitch. 2-2 count. Walters has had an active night behind home plate so far, as Deitring digs back in at a 2-2 count. Schwab on deck, Galgan in the hole as Colgrove looks to second base. Furch scampering back into the bag.
I'd like to see Furch get a huge secondary lead after the pitch is delivered. I think he could find himself halfway down to third base, really put some pressure on that North Union catcher.
Interesting defensive alignment for North Union, which we'll talk about after this pitch. Colgrove's 2-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Boy, is that a big punch out for Colgrove as Deitring is retired. It's interesting. A lot of times with a right-handed batter, the second baseman will hold the runner at second base because you want the pull side covered up there. North Union, though, is having their shortstop Crouch hold the runner at second base, and that leaves a wide open hole on the pull side, that shortstop side of the field, but obviously it didn't matter on that pitch because it was a strikeout, but that's interesting that they elected to hold him on that way.
Yeah, you're right. They're continuing to do that huge gap over there. No one at shortstop.
This time, the left-hander Schwab bats as he grounds towards first base. Bollinger stays down on it, gobbles up the ball and goes to the bag. Advancing up to third is Furch as Schwab retired for out number 2 of the inning. It makes more sense of a lefty at the plate because the pull side, of course, is where the second baseman and the first baseman are, but North Union has just had Crouch be there just about every time a runner's bat at second base.
Well, now it's up to Galligan after Furch starts off with getting hit by pitch, gets over to third base now. They don't want to leave him stranded out there at third with 2 outs.
Galligan 1 for 2, doubled to left center his last time up. It's right on top of the plate from that right side batter's box. Pitch to Galligan, attacks it and lines it towards left field, right towards Cruz, and he misplays the ball and it gets by him. 4-2 Golden Bears. Galligan chugging towards second base. He will take the turn and he will stay right there. That was a low sinking liner to left field that Cruz charged in on, and the ball went underneath his glove as the Golden Bears get in front here 4-2. Galligan coming through in the clutch.
Brady Galligan has had the bat tonight. He drove one to the outfield in his first at bat. That one, he puts a good charge into it. Left fielder was right on it. Like I said before, this is that point of the night. The lights get a little tricky here. He was running in, and he just clearly just didn't get a good vision on that ball, and it went right underneath his glove. We'll see how they score that, but nice contact by Galligan.
I will call that a single and then an error allowing Galligan to go to second, but we'll see how things shake out in the official book tomorrow as Mike steps in and pitches in the dirt. Waller's got a piece of it, but it deflects to the backstop as jogging up the third base will be Galligan. So Golden Bears continue to run the bases here on the wild pitches tonight. A lot of balls in the dirt, a couple of balls thrown high and over the catcher as well. And once again, we emphasize the fact Walters will have to block anything here for a runner at third base at a 4-2 Bishop Garrigan lead. Yes, that's another big insurance run.
Yeah, same situation. 2 outs. Can the batter get it done? Bring in that guy on third.
Well, it felt like the Warriors worked so hard in the top of the second to score those 2, and that could be erased here in an instant. And right on cue, Walters envelops the ball that was in the dirt.
Yeah, that one hit him pretty hard. Boy, that wears catchers out over the course of the season, getting hit by so many pitches. And now that's 2 kind of wild pitches in a row that Walters has saved. with a runner on third. And they're going to take time. Coach is going to come out and discuss. I don't see anyone warming up for North Union, but the Bears do have someone in the bullpen. We're getting to that point in the game where arms start to get a little tired.
Yeah, Schwab appears to be taking some warm-up tosses right now for Bishop Garrigan, but this is one of those nights you play a full week of baseball games. This may be a mound visit as much for Wallers as it is for anyone to get a break from the beating behind home plate. Wallers is saying TGIF on this one, as he is probably ready for a nice long weekend, maybe an ice bath after this one, for the way he has taken a beating of those pitches in the dirt behind home.
Well, we've got senior Dan Mice at the plate with a 2-0 count, and as much as you'd like to work a count, 2-0 count after this pitching conference where you got to figure the pitcher's going to get refocused and try to get a strike in there. This is a great opportunity if Mice sees one coming down the pike. Take a big cut at this.
4-2 Bishop Garrigan. 4 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors by the Golden Bears tonight. North Union 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors. And back aboard the pitching rubber is Colgrove. Mice, the right-hander, 0-2 so far tonight, but working with a 2-0 count as Colgrove delivers to Mice. And Colgrove misses upstairs for a ball. 3-0 count. Lear on deck and Graves in the hole for Bishop Garrigan.
Boy, now it completely changes. Now you're not swinging. No matter what, 3-0, you're going to take this pitch all the way. That 2-0 pitch upstairs. Try to draw a walk, get on base, create first and third for Nick Lear.
Colgrove brings the 3-0. Mice taking all the way as that one is in there for a called strike. Count goes to 3-1.
Well, no, that was just a perfect pitch. That was the pitch he wanted to see at 2-0.
We'll see if he can recreate that pitch here for 3-1 count. Mice square stance in the box. Colgrove's 3-1 offering. Mice watching, and there's another called strike. He does recreate that pitch, and the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs, and Brady Garrigan standing at third base. Bottom half of 5, a 2-run lead right now for Bishop Garrigan. Looking to add some insurance here and offset the 2 runs the Warriors scored in the top of the 5th. Colgrove with the full count pitch. And he lost him for ball 4. Battled back into the at-bat, tried to hit the same spot, but that time missed down and away as Mice will draw the walk. Runners at the corners for the Golden Bears as Nick Lear steps in. Lear with a strikeout and a ground at the third base so far tonight, and he has been up there swinging. He does not get cheated, and he will swing early in the count.
We're going to call time here, and Garrigan and Mice and Lear are all going to conference with Coach Meister on the third base line. Talk about the first and third situation they have in front of them.
Well, some options here for Bishop Garrigan. You wonder if Mice will run at some point during this at-bat, but do you try to get in a rundown and steal a run? That would obviously take the bat out of Lear's hands if you tried to do that, but that could be something they think about. It could just be a straight steal of second, see if you can draw a throw through, or it could just be, let's have this conversation to make North Union think we're stealing.
Well, they've got the 2-run lead, and maybe they just want to say, hey, this pitcher has been erratic lately with his control. Maybe let's just give it a couple pitches, but if we get it behind in the count, we'll do the takeoff play and send Dan Mice try to get in a rundown in between first and second. But maybe let the pitcher throw a couple pitches, see what happens. There's no reason to force that play with 2 outs. You got to figure that run is out there to be gotten. But you might as well see if Lear can work some sort of count before you do that.
Outfield is straight up and a little bit deeper here for Lear. Bottom half of 5 on Hometown Radio KLGA Algona as Bishop Garrigan leads North Union 4-2 here in a key top of Iowa West game. Like I mentioned, the Golden Bears already have 2 conference losses, so you let this one get away, and it starts to get late early out there with teams like Forest City and Lake Mills playing some really good baseball. North Union trying to put themselves in the conference title mix as well, and a win tonight will go a long way towards doing that. Colgrove delivers, no runners moving as the pitch is down and away, backhanded by Walters for ball 1.
Yeah, there we go. I think that might be what was discussed because they're going to let Colgrove throw a couple pitches, see what happens. If it wasn't for Walters, there could be a couple wild pitches already this inning, but that catcher's doing a fantastic job behind the plate.
Colgrove working with a 1-2 count. Mice at first that is, and Garrigan at third. Now Mice is going. Lear watching, and that's a called strike, and North Union will not acknowledge the base runner. So Mice will take second on defensive indifference. That'll take the force play away and put 2 in scoring position for the Golden Bears, as Colgrove will elect to focus on the batter.
No, I like that. That's my preferred. Let Mice take second base. Now you have 2 people in scoring position with an opportunity for Nick Lear to bring him in.
1-1 count, and now Lear will lock in at the plate. It's in his hands right now, the right-handed hitting senior for the Golden Bears. The sophomore Colgrove's 1-1. Lear with a healthy cut and a miss. Colgrove kept that one on the outside part of the plate, and a count 1-2. You got to keep it especially outside of Lear with those long arms that he can extend over the plate. 1-2 count here from Colgrove.
Boy, he just missed that one. It was a little outside. Lear was trying to go big with that swing. Really put this game out of reach. Already up 2 runs, and he was looking for 3 more with that swing.
Bottom of 5, Colgrove trying to work through a jam. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled straight back to the screen. Boy, Lear is just off tonight. He's had some of those foul balls straight back where he's timing it up perfectly, swing just a little bit underneath the ball. You square that up, and you're making some pretty loud contact if you're Lear.
Yeah, he is so close. You can just feel on the cusp of him getting a big hit. How about a 3-run homer, Tyler? That'd be fun tonight.
Lear is capable. He did homer last year for the Golden Bears, one of the several Golden Bears who went deep. 1-2 count, and Colgrove delivers. Lear takes a long look at the breaking ball that was clearly outside, but very tempted to swing at that one, and it's a 2-2 count.
Oh, yeah, that
was... Colgrove did double up on Lear on the breaking balls earlier in this game and fooled him. We'll see if he goes back to the breaking ball well again. The North Union sophomore works the runners on second and third. And the 2-2 pitch. He went fastball and it's blasted. Left center field gap. And that's going to play 2 for Bishop Garrigan. Nick Lear on his way to second base. The ball squirts through to the wall. A 2-run double by the Bishop Garrigan senior. And there's the clutch 2-out hit the Golden Bears were looking for. They respond to North Union's 2 spot with a 3 spot on the scoreboard. 6-2 Bishop Garrigan.
Oh, Nick Lear with the answer. Boy, like you said, Tyler, he's had some long at-bats, just missing a lot of pitches. He did not miss that one. Put the heart of the bat right on that thing. Line drove it to the gap. Beautiful hit by Lear, standing at second base. 6-2, comfortable lead now for Caden Graves coming to the plate.
And boys, that a sight for sore eyes for this Bishop Garrigan batting order that was hitting under 200 on the season coming into tonight. I think the thing to look for here going forward, you want to see this lineup continue to develop into a 1-9 threat. It feels like they haven't been necessarily a balanced lineup up to this point. They've gotten a lot of production from guys like Lear, but the pitch goes to the backstop and Lear's up to third base. Now you want to see hitters number 7, 8, 9 in the batting order really start to punish pitchers when they make mistakes and have wild pitches that put runners on third like this. And we'll see which guys can step up to do it. Graves with a 1-0 count right now, hitting in the mid-200s so far this season, which is one of the higher marks in the Golden Bears of how the offense has gone up to this point. The 1-0 pitch over the head of the catcher, and here comes Lear from third base. Throw to home, slide, tag, not in time. Lear scores on the wild pitch, 7-2 Bishop Garrigan. Lear hesitated just a little bit, but he still was able to score in front of that throw.
And that was a high pitch over the head of everybody, and those are the ones that ricochet off the fence and come right back. So fortune goes well for the Bears there. Nick Lear hustles home. He's got good speed down the line.
It was a deadening off the fence this time around as that ball did not favor North Union on the bounce. 7-2 Golden Bears. This is a 4 spot here in the bottom of the 5th. Pitch to Graves. Graves taking, and it is now a 2-1 count. So nobody on base, but the Golden Bears have capitalized on this inning. 3 hits so far this inning, 4 runs. 7-2 Bishop Garrigan. Colgrove's pitch. Graves watching as that one goes upstairs for a ball. 3-1 count. Mauler waiting in the on-deck circle. Colgrove laboring here in the 5th. Behind Graves with the 3-1 pitch. Graves went right after that one and fouled it back to the screen. Count goes full at 3-2. There were some quick at-bats earlier in the ball game, but we're seeing a lot more Golden Bears work deep into counts here. Second and third time through the batting order against Colgrove. That included Lear before that 2-run double. 3-2 pitch. Graves with a sky-high pop, third base side, foul territory. Waller's giving it a look. Waller's near the fence, and that one drops just over the fence. If that ball was 1 inch further towards the field, that lands directly on top of the fence, and 2 inches further, it lands in the glove of Waller's.
Yeah, it couldn't have been any closer. Wow, that thing went a mile high. Just skimmed the fence there. Caden Graves has new life. Well, Tyler, you called it a second ago. You wanted to see some production here out of the bottom of the lineup. You feel like Caden Graves is about ready to break out here with a full count, 2 outs.
The 3-2 pitch. Graves flies it in the air high towards left center field, but not deep. Cruising over is the center fielder Hoy, and Hoy will make the catch. Boy, the left fielder Cruz couldn't find that ball, and he was fortunate that the center fielder Hoy could, as that is out number 3 of the inning. But Bishop Garrigan breaks through for 4 runs. It's 7-2 Golden Bears moving to the 6th on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube channel.
Where you bank matters. Hi, I'm Sherry Bacon at Security State Bank, and we're relationship bankers. We get to know our customers and understand their financial needs. We're locally owned and operated, which means family, community, and service always comes first. So come to Security State Bank. We'll treat you like family. Security State Bank in Algona, Burt, and Laverne. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Security State Bank.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
AK's Chrome Kitchen. When you come in, your family.
Farmers State Bank is proud to be part of our community. Offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Stroman Dental, giving you something to smile about.
Bill's Auto and Truck Repair. Service is the difference.
Trend Salon, your complete family hair salon. It's all about you.
Oakcrest Funeral Services, celebrating a life lived.
All bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Hey Golden Bear fans, this is Carter Schwab, and you're listening to Bishop Garrigan Baseball on KLGA.
Well, Bishop Garrigan deals North Union a very deflating inning in the fifth. North Union scored 2 runs to make a 3-0 game, a 3-2 ball game, but Bishop Garrigan snatched momentum right back. 4 runs in the bottom of the fifth for the Golden Bears, who now lead at 7-2. Brennan Bollinger, the batter for North Union, will foul that one back to the screen with a slow swing there against the off-speed pitch of Furch, and the count now even, 1 ball and 1 strike. It is Bollinger, Rizak, and Stevens in the North Union batting order here, as the Warriors are going to start to run out of outs here very quickly if they can't get a few guys on base this inning. Furch works into his motion, and time is called at home plate before the junior can deliver.
Well, Furch has thrown 2 straight curveballs here. He's really been using that curveball nicely tonight to set up a strikeout pitch in the fastball.
The 1-1 pitch. Ground ball towards the hole at shortstop. Mice tries to dive, but he can't knock it down as the ball goes into left field. Kolash will overrun it. Bollinger will take the turnaround first base, but he will stay right there, settling for a single. And he does his job getting the leadoff runner aboard here for North Union. So Bollinger will be at first base as Casey Rizak bats. Rizak hit by a pitch his first time up and then struck out back in the fourth as he is over 1 tonight. So Bollinger aboard first base with his first base hit of the game and just the 3rd hit of the night by the Warriors against Tate Furch. As home plate umpire will dust off home plate here. North Union, like we said, they didn't have a ton of hits coming into tonight's game, just a .245 team batting average, but they had averaged over 10 runs per game. That number has gone down here tonight against Tate Furch, who has settled into this Bishop Garrigan rotation nicely. You've got Furch, Galligan, Mice. Those guys seem to make up the big 3 for the Golden Bears. Schwab putting some quality innings in as well. As Furch sets, kicks in the pitch, and that is fouled back to the screen, 0-1 count. But Beanie, development of that off-speed pitch really seems to be an emphasis for the Golden Bears. We see a lot of young pitchers come into this Bishop Garrigan program throwing gas early, but as they age and as they develop in the program, they seem to develop more control over the breaking pitches as their experience continues to build and they pick up more innings. And I think that's a big thing for Furch this year as he finds his own for a called strike. Just too many walks last year, but once you start spotting that curveball, those walks are going to go down significantly.
Yeah, and it takes a while to develop that curveball. Everyone's breaking pitches are a little bit different depending on the player and how they grip it, and coaches can do their best to work with the players, but sometimes it just doesn't, it's just not a matter of learning how to throw it and then start doing it. It takes a long time to develop control.
0-2 from Furch. It's outside and off the glove of Deitring. Bollinger will cruise up to second base for North Union. Runner in scoring position now and a 1-2 count on Rizak. Nobody out here in the top of the 6th from Bishop Garrigan High School. These teams will play later in the season at historic Bancroft Memorial Park on the 27th of June. But tonight, the Golden Bears are just trying to finish off this one here and get back in the win column. Furch's pitch inside, and boy, that almost grazed Rizak, but it missed him, and the count evens at 2-2. Schwab in on the grass at first base. The rest of the infield at about normal depth. Outfield continues to play shallow tonight for the Golden Bears. 2-2 pitch, and a breaking ball will freeze Rizak for strike 3. Boy, is that pitch working well tonight for Tate Furch, out number 1 of the inning.
Nice breaker, slid right into the zone. Looked like it was coming right at Rizak's shoulder, and then just ducks right into the strike zone. Nothing the batter could do about there, and he was frozen. Runner at second, here's the pitch.
7 Ks so far tonight by Furch, who delivers up high for ball 1 to Wiley Stevens. Stevens reaching on an error his last time up, and came around to score during that 5th inning where North Union played at 2. Schwab will stay on the grass at first base. Outfield will play straight up and shallow. And the two middle infielders playing relatively close to Bollinger, but he's not moving until contact. As that pitch is hit hard towards left field, Kolash chasing it back, and Kolash gets underneath it for the out. A line drive, but right into the tracks of the left fielder, and 2 outs now in the North Union half of the 6th.
That ball stayed underneath the lights, which is key here at this ballpark with the sky like this. You saw in that last inning, the left fielder couldn't see it because that fly ball by Caden Graves got upstairs. But Kolash played under these lights a lot. No problem reading that ball.
Colin Cruz is 1 for 2 tonight. Bats out of squared right-handed stance as Furch tries to work around the base runner. 7-2 Bishop Garrigan as that pitch up and in for a ball as it sailed, and the count 1-0.
Well, Furch has continued tonight to be efficient on the mound, kept his walks to a minimum, strikeouts. Very impressive outing so far for Furch. Will he be able to finish it off?
Outfield playing towards right center for Cruz, and Furch, another beautiful breaking ball in the zone. Count evens at 1-1. Yeah, we really haven't even had to think about pitch count tonight with Tate Furch because he has been throwing strikes and working in a very efficient fashion. Furch wants to run for the signs again if Deitring. And time will be called here as Golden Bears couldn't get an agreement there on the pitch, and Cruz will now step back into the box. Crouch on deck for North Union. Runner at second base is Bollinger. 1-1 pitch, and another breaking ball, and that one will freeze Cruz to make the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, you're looking for that fastball as the hitter, but that fastball may never come. You might just have to hit that curveball at some point from Tate Furch with the way that is working tonight.
Yeah, you said it is working for him tonight. He's feeling good about it.
There's the fastball, but it's sailed up and in. It's off the glove of Deitring, and jogging up the third base will be Bollinger. So the pitch off the glove of Deitring will put a runner at third of 2 outs, and now a 2-2 count on Cruz. Furch showed the fastball there for the 1-2 count, but he knew he had a couple pitches to work with, so we'll see if he goes right back to that breaking ball that Cruz has not yet swung at.
Well, a little detail that makes his breaking pitches so effective is his fastball and curveball look very similar in his release point. They look very similar coming out of his hand.
The 2-2 pitch, and fouled off. Boy, Cruz just fought that one off. Weight was out on the front foot, but he was able to flick it back to the screen to keep the count even at 2-2.
There are some pitchers that let the whole crowd know what pitch is coming just in the way they wind up and the way they grip the ball and their arm angle, etc. But Furch, really consistent.
The 2-2 pitch, line drive towards the middle of the infield. It takes 2 up to second base. Deitring picks it, has to unload quickly, and out at first base. A bang-bang play. The Warrior first base dugout protesting the call, but out number 3 is recorded on a bang-bang play at first base that couldn't have possibly been any closer. Cruz will ground out. A runner will be stranded at third base, and the score stays 7-2. Bishop Garrigan batting in the bottom of the 6th, coming up next on KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
More sports club members.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Call Street in Algona.
Algona Plumbing and Heating, where a good flush beats a full house.
Kasuth Regional Health Center, your home for health care.
Walker Chiropractic and Wellness, caring for Algona, Sway City, and surrounding areas with chiropractic, nutritional, and physical therapy services.
Reeves Wicked Good Bar and Grill, for wicked good food, drinks, and service, you gotta go to Reeves.
High Point Land Company, your trusted land partner in Algona.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game on Hometown Home Country Radio.
CB Grain Solutions, satisfaction guaranteed.
Dump It, Kasuth County's local and reliable waste service provider for commercial and residential customers.
Albert Electric, flip the switch to Albert Electric.
Billy Offerman, your State Farm agent in Algona. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Greg Penning and Company, certified public accountants where everyone counts.
Daylight Donuts, open early with delicious donuts and great coffee.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
New pitcher for North Union. This is going to be Max Merrill on in relief of Grayson Colgrove. Colgrove goes 5 innings tonight and is on the hook for the loss here if the Warriors are unable to rally and win this game. Bishop Garrigan on top right now, 7-2 over North Union here from Bishop Garrigan High School. Max Merrill on the season has appeared in 2 games. He's made 1 start. He's only thrown 4 2/3 innings. A sophomore with a 4.50 ERA, 5 strikeouts and 4 walks. Opponents batting .222 against Merrill so far this season as he will face hitters number 8, 9, and 1 in the Bishop Garrigan lineup. Well, this is the inning the Golden Bears will look to remove all doubt. It's already looking good here with a 5-run lead for Tate Furch, who has cruised so far in this game with the exception of the 5th inning. And now we'll see if we can get that production from the bottom of the order that we called on. For Mahler and Kolash, the job is to set the table from the top of the order, and we'll see if Furch is able to get some RBIs after that against the new pitcher, Max Merrill.
Max Merrill comes in always a good idea to get a look at that pitcher when they enter the game. He's got a much different release than Colgrove did. Good to see Colgrove had a good outing, but you could see as the innings went on, just a sophomore, his pitching got to be a little more erratic, had a few more wild pitches there than the latter innings, but not a bad inning for the young pitcher. But, yeah, time to save that arm for another night in this long baseball season.
And the pitching has not been bad for North Union this year, and Colgrove's part of that. Their team ERA coming into tonight was .360 after a .518 team ERA last year. But tonight the Golden Bears, they haven't gotten off a ton of hits, but they've taken advantage of some of the walks and the couple of errors that North Union's made tonight, as Golden Bears have a 7-2 lead of just 4 hits in this ball game. Mahler tonight has struck out and laid down a sacrifice bunt. Left-handed hitting senior for the Golden Bears. It'll be senior, junior in the batting order of Mahler, Kolash, and Furch this inning. And the new pitcher, Max Merrill for North Union, much like Colgrove, works only from the stretch. He holds the hands just above the belt, turns and delivers, and he will miss on that pitch for ball 1. When Merrill does that leg kick of the front leg, he takes a slight turn towards second base. It's not necessarily full Louis Tiant for people who know baseball players from the 1960s, but just a little turn towards second. The 1-0 pitch, that one rolled, foul for the third base coaching box by Moeller, and it's a 1-1 count.
When Mueller would like that pitch back, he just missed that one. It was right in the place where Mueller likes it there, right over the outer half of the plate. Mueller, a big guy, long arms, can get those arms extended and put a lot of power into that swing.
The outfield playing Mueller as a major pull hitter. Everyone around towards right field. There is a ton of green grass out there in left center field and left. If Mueller is able to poke one to the opposite field. 1-1 count is an exchange of the baseballs asked for by Merrill. So Wallers will deliver the new ball out to the pitching mound for the North Union sophomore. Pretty young Warrior team here. A lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores. And Caden Walders, the senior catcher behind home plate, kind of holding it all together with Bollinger, that are senior at first base. Here's Merrill. Stretch and the 1-1 pitch. Mahler taking, and that one is in at the knees for a called strike. The Bishop Garrigan senior down on the count, 1-2. Nice crowd here tonight as well. Always a lot of people from the northern part of the county coming down when the Golden Bears take on North Union. There was a huge crowd at the softball game here tonight at 6 o'clock, and they saw North Union stay undefeated as they dominated tonight against Bishop Garrigan on the softball diamond. Merrill delivers, and that is a called strike free on the inside corner. Merrill gets Mueller looking there to start off the inning. 1 down and nobody on for Thad Kolash. Kolash tonight has walked and grounded out to third base. A couple of long plate appearances tonight for Thad Kolash, seeing Merrill for the first time. The kick and the pitch. Kolash watches, and that one is a couple inches off the outside corner for a ball. 1-0 count.
Well, now that June is in full effect, this is when a lot of weekend tournaments start happening. I know the Warrior softball team usually attends a lot of tournaments on some weekends here in June. Bears baseball have one tomorrow.
That pitch is upstairs for a ball. 1-0 count.
Will you be taking in any weekend tournaments, Tyler? Are you going to get the weekend off this weekend?
Not this weekend. I'm slated to work tomorrow morning, bright and early on KLGA. If you folks are up at 6 o'clock in the morning, you'll hear me greeting you with a bright and sunny voice, live on 92.7 FM. Merrill's 2-0 pitch, and that is down and away for a ball, 3-0 count. If there's anyone who's thankful for the tempo that Tate Furch works at on the mound, it is me when I am assigned to work the weekend.
Well, you are a true professional, because at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, I will not sound bright and chipper.
3-0 count from Merrill. The pitch to Kolash, taking all the way as he will take the fastball for a called strike. 3-1.
I guess that means you won't be able to go over and watch Jake Rosemeyer be ordained a priest in Sioux City then.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'll have to stay back and hold it down at the station for this one, but
I bet he goes to your ordination when you become a priest in the future.
Oh, boy. 3-1 pitch. There's a wave and a miss for a strike. 3-2 count. I may already be disqualified from that with a couple of things that have happened, but full count here, 3-2, as Kolash now facing a full count against Merrill. What about what you did yesterday, though, Beanie? Climbing to the top of that mallard duck. Could you still be a priest after that, or is that disqualifying?
The mallard duck is an Iowa landmark.
3-2 pitch, wave and a miss by Kolash. Boy, Merrill battled back into that count after a 3-0 count as he strikes out the first 2 Golden Bear batters of the inning.
And everyone knows, anyone that knows me knows I have a bucket list. I got to get to every Iowa landmark like that and climb it. I've been on the Strawberry Point Strawberry. I've been on the Bullhead in Crystal Lake. I mean, I had to knock off the duck.
What about the frying pan in Brandon? What about that?
I tried to do that a couple weeks ago when I took Violet to the Cedar Rapids Airport, but there was too many people around.
See, you got to come at midnight. That's when no one's going to be there. At least you'd think no one would be there, unless I've tipped them off already and they are already setting up security at that Brandon frying pan.
I guess we just need to come up with a giant thing that I can climb here in Algona. We need a giant thing.
Well, they've got that giant Cheeto, but I don't think he can climb that.
I don't think so.
0-1 count here to Tate Furch. And that one is high outside corner, called strike, 0-2. Where did they even store that thing at? I don't think I've ever seen the giant Cheeto in person besides just pitchers.
It's in deep storage under lock and key. Top secret.
Kept with the same security as the U.S. Constitution is locked up as well back in D.C. 0-2 count. Furch choked way up on the bat now as that pitch skips in well in front of home plate. That was a 57-foot pitch there by Merrills. The count goes to 1-2.
Well, 2 outs here in the inning. The Bears have done a lot of damage this game with 2 outs here. Furch would like to improve that batting average by getting on base here. And it looks like he will be trying to finish this contest as no one in the batting or no one in the bullpen.
Up and in, buzzed the tower of Furch right there, and he was nearly a hit-by-pitch victim for the second time tonight.
And that will make Coach Meister very happy because a tournament tomorrow, they will go through a lot of pitchers, so he's going to have all the arms available, not having to use anyone except Furch this game, hopefully.
2-2 count. Merrill's next offering. And that one is flied in the air. Lazy fly towards center field as Hoy charges in. He's towards right center a couple of steps, and he puts it away for the third out. The Golden Bears go quietly against Max Merrill. 1-2-3, and the last chance for North Union coming up next. It's Bishop Garrigan 7 and North Union 2 on Hometown Radio, KLGA.
When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at moneypass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Central Financial Group, where you belong.
Down to Earth Tree Service, your local Algona tree service.
Styles Salon, your salon in Algona. Create yourself.
Farm and Home Services, view their listings at farmhomeservices.com.
Holmes Animal Clinic, animals large and small, they love them all.
Dance Connection and Tumbling by Michelle, passionate about teaching, creative about dance. Visit their studio or danceconnectionbymichelle.com.
All bringing you this ball game.
Hey Golden Bear fans, this is Brady Galgan, and you're listening to Bishop Garrigan Baseball on KLGA.
Last chance time for the North Union Warriors coming up here on Hometown Radio KLGA as the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears lead 7-2 in the top half of the 7th inning. For North Union, it'll be 8, 9, and 1 in the batting order. Carson Crouch, Cooper Hoy, and Grayson Colgrove this inning for North Union. Crouch so far today 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a single. One of just 3 hits so far recorded by North Union. Tate Furch back to work as fastball's in off the inside part of the plate. Ball 1 to Crouch.
Well, Furch starting off with fastball there. He's got to make quick work here, not taking a lot of time in between pitches.
Pitch to Crouch. 2-seam fastball there, called strike, and it's 1-1. Outfield around towards right center for Crouch. Pretty big gap towards the left center, that pool side for Crouch. As pitches pulled down and away for a ball. 2-1 count. The Golden Bears saw that line drive single to right field last time up, and they say he will probably go to right field again if he gets the chance. 2-1 pitch. Furch up and in with the fastball, 3-1 count.
Well, Furch is overthrown a little bit here in the 7th. No need to let his fielders do the work. Just put the ball in the zone with a 5-run lead.
3-1 pitch as Crouch got right after the fastball, but fouled it back to the screen. Count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
But you can never tell a competitive kid like Furch to just put that ball in there and let his fielder do the work. You know, he's going for strikeouts.
Here's the wind and the 3-2 pitch. Got him looking on the fastball, strike 3. Furch went pretty much all heat that at bat, and he has his 8th punch out of the game, out number 1 of the inning as Cooper Hoy will bat 0 for 2 tonight. That ball had a little run on it as well. Looks like he's really going with that 2-seam fastball there, that late run as Hoy steps in. Fouled out to first base his last time up. Warriors have 2 outs to work with as that pitch is a fastball up and in for a ball, 1-0 count. Well, earlier in this game, a couple innings ago, Furch was starting off players with the curveball. He started off now with the fastball to the past couple of hitters as he misses downstairs with the fastball and falls behind 2-0 in the count.
Yeah, he is going for it. You could see when he took the mound, he was going to throw that ball as hard as he could here. He knows it's his last inning of the night, come what may, no matter what. And he is gunning for these guys with the heater.
Furch working quickly with the 2-0 pitch, and that fastball flies back to the screen. 3-0 count. Little Rick Vaughn offering right there, and it'll be a 3-0 count here on Hoy.
You know, we've seen a lot of wild pitches tonight, but not many from Furch. He continues to be really consistent. His strikeout to walk ratio is not dinged up much tonight. Really nice job on the hill.
No, in fact, I only recall one walk tonight by Furch as the 3-0 pitch. And that is walk number 2, ball 4, as he lost Hoy on 4 pitches. So a one-out base runner for North Union. Hoy on first base, and back to the top of the order of Grayson Colgrove, who has had a tough night against Furch. He popped up to shortstop on the first pitch he saw of the game, and then struck out his last 2 at-bats, 0 for 3 tonight. Runner at first, 1 away for North Union. A 7-2 lead for Bishop Garrigan in the top half of the 7th inning. Outfield playing straight away for Colgrove. Furch goes breaking ball that time, right over the plate for a called strike, 0-1.
And that's the pitch you want to throw if you're trying to end this game on a double play to the second baseman. And I know you would love to see that right now, Tyler.
Sometimes you just have a feel for certain pitches, and Furch tonight has had the feel for that curveball as he throws a pickoff to first base. Back in if a dive is Hoy, as the count 0-1. This game moving by quickly here tonight. Approaching the 2-hour mark of this game, just shy of that, as Furch slides, steps and delivers, and sails the fastball up high for a ball, 1-1 count. And I do think he made a good observation there. It looks like he's just trying to overthrow that fastball and hump it up there with too much velocity right now. Sometimes a 95% effort pitch can be a pitcher's best friend. The 1-1 pitch, Colgrove pops that one foul back over the screen, and Furch works ahead 1-2.
Tyler, I think he heard you. You could see Tate just take a big deep breath there, realize he was maybe just putting a little too much mustard on that hot dog, and he just threw that one a nice batting practice fastball in there, and nothing hurt. The hitter just fouled it off, so Furch can leave it there here with 1 out in the final inning, assuming.
The 1-2 pitch is a breaking ball and an emergency hack that time. Half swing by Colgrove to fight off that inside breaking pitch. Foul ball in the count 1-2. And Furch is a high IQ player. He knows that just as well as you or I know without us saying it, but he is a player who can make the adjustments, and you always put those high IQ, baseball mind type of guys behind home plate as the catcher, which is where Furch is normally. There's a breaking ball. That pitch is a called strike 3, and stealing second base is Hoy. Little delayed call there. Everything was going on there for the runner stealing second base, and Colgrove taking a called third strike. So 2 outs, final chance for North Union. Caden Walters, who was hit by pitches last time up, 0-2 tonight.
That was just a beautiful curveball by Tate Furch. Catches the outside corner. Nothing the batter could do. And boy, this late in the game with a 5-run lead, umpires love to call those.
As Furch works quickly and misses for ball 1.
That one just off the outside corner. Umpire thought about pulling the trigger and giving Tate that strike as well, but it's just a little too far off the dish.
9 Ks so far tonight by Tate Furch, as he will find the fastball a little bit high to Walters up above the letters to make it a 2-0 count. Outfield mostly straight away for Walters, although Mahler is a couple of steps towards the right field line. Furch from the stretch, Hoy at second, the 2-0 pitch. That's another high fastball, 3-0 count. After Walters, it'll be Merrill for North Union. Merrill 0-3 in the on-deck circle right now. Furch glimpses at second and brings the 3-0. And he missed up high for ball 4, so third walk of the game by Tate Furch at second this inning, as that fastball command has eluded him here, and Coach Meister will go out to the mound. It's maybe overthrowing it a little bit, but it's maybe also just getting a little underneath it there on the release point as he's sailing that fastball up, and Merrill will get a chance to bat. Well, for North Union, you still have a few runners to go here before you start to really threaten Bishop Garrigan, but you at least get the bat to your middle of the order guys, your number 3 hitter now if Merrill, and the number 4 hitter Bollinger waiting on deck if Merrill gets on.
Yeah, 2 walks this inning, definitely uncharacteristic for Tate Furch if you look at his statistics. But like we've talked about with the tournament tomorrow, Coach Meister is reluctant to go to another pitcher here, try to save all those arms for the games they're playing tomorrow. And he's just going to talk to Tate Furch, let him know the situation, remind him, hey, there's 2 outs here. Let's just put the ball in the zone, and we shall see if Tate can get her done here. Runners on first and second, back to action here.
Yeah, and this is Tate Furch's game. He's earned the ability to try to finish this one off with the way he's pitched so far tonight, especially as the pitch count allows. The kick by Furch and the pitch. And breaking ball stayed a little bit up and in that time. That one didn't come back over the inside corner as it's 1-0 to Merrill.
Big breaker, but the batter showed no temptation there. He's seen that pitch before at this point in the game.
The 1-0 from Furch. That ball is flied high in the air and out of play to left field. Boy, is Merrill ready to get on top of that one as he tomahawks that one foul. well out in front.
Yeah, we saw the hitters do that earlier in this game. It was Nick Lear who watched a close curveball and knew that fastball was coming. North Union batter does that just there. Figures the fastball's coming and is just sitting dead red, ready to pound it. And he did that just well foul.
Merrill, wearing the fluorescent batting gloves, will take the curveball as it finds the zone for a strike. It crossed the plate at the knees, says the home plate umpire, as it looked low when it got to the catcher, but had some of the downward break, and the count goes to 1-2.
Well, there is an unwritten rule in baseball. Those late game situations, that zone sometimes gets bigger.
Here's Furch, hands to the belt. North Union down to their last strike. A pick off to second base, and diving back in is Hoy as he swims to the bag. Count will be 1-2 here. Furch seeing if he could get a freebie there for out number 3 of the game.
The Warrior runner at first says to Carter Schwab, "What's going on there? Why are we doing that?"
1-2 pitch. That's in the dirt, trying to advance to third base. Is Hoy, throw to third base. Oh, and they got him! They got him, and the game is over. Hoy is gunned down at third base on a bang-bang play. The Warriors are not going to like that call, but that'll bring an end to this one. Bishop Garrigan wins it by a final count of 7-2. Tate Furch goes the distance, and it's the defense getting the final out in this one. We will take a timeout and wrap it up next on Hometown Radio KLGA and the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Signworks Inc. For all your signage needs and printed apparel, stop in or call 295-9544.
New Way K&H Co-op, delivering exceptional value through knowledge and innovation.
West Bend Ford, meeting your service, new and used vehicle needs.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country, carrying steel and Toro products and Green Mountain pellet grills.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
All sponsors of this game broadcast. High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
American Glass. For all your glass needs, think American.
Farm Bureau Financial Agents Dave Beisch, Daniel Foth, and Michael Tull.
Chemco Tires. They're all you need to know about tires and service.
Wykirk Realtors, the 515 Agency, a fresh approach to real estate.
Grassmasters. Growing satisfied customers.
Iowa Lakes Community College, your community, your college.
Glenn's Green Thumb. From a small seed, something beautiful will grow.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
We've got more sports club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Algona Frame and Auto Body. We meet by accident.
Water Connection, from softeners to bottled water and service. Call 295-SOFT.
Algona Pizza Ranch. There's so much to love.
Cotton Grave Farm Management and Land Realty, downtown Algona. Trusted for farmland service needs since 1960.
Algona Livestock. Sales every Monday.
Countryside Barbecue Sauce. 2 sauces for all seasons.
All bringing you this broadcast on the radio. When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at moneypass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
Back here to wrap things up from Bishop Garrigan High School is tonight the Golden Bears victorious by a final count of 7-2 over the North Union Warriors. And we've got a couple players up here joining us to recap the game. We're going to talk first with the winning pitcher tonight, Tate Furch of the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears. Tate, first of all, complete game win tonight. How's the arm feeling after that one?
Feels good. It feels good, especially once you get it all warmed up and you're in the middle of the pitch and you get all the adrenaline going. It feels pretty darn good.
Well, it's always a big week for the Golden Bears, especially when you have one of those Saturday tournaments. How much pride do you take in the fact that, hey, it's my ball tonight, I'm going to take it the whole way, and we'll save all our other pitchers for tomorrow?
Just the competitive nature in me is telling me I want to take that ball, and I want to go out there and dominate and hopefully go the whole game. I was telling Skip was talking to me if we just wanted to go with Carter, and I was like, I love you, Carter, but this is my ball for now, and if I go over the pitch count, then you can have it, but I want it right now.
Well, Tate, we talked during the broadcast. Looked like you really had that curveball working tonight. Good location on that, a lot of called strikes. Why did you feel that pitch was working so well today?
Just being able to balance it off my fastball. The slider was moving pretty good in the bullpen, and I knew I was going to be able to control it. It's been my go-to wipeout pitch for a while, so I was just like, let's work on it in the bullpen and get ready to go for tonight.
Well, Tate, we talked kind of before the season started about how you'd be throwing more innings this year and taking that role on the pitching staff. This is more of a broad question than the question about tonight, but it's been a great start to you on the mound so far. 3-0 record, a great ERA. What do you kind of attribute this jump forward in your pitching performance to?
Two things. Probably the weight room especially is big because I started throwing harder and throwing more consistently. And the weight room has been a big part of me, just throwing up and in velo and throwing harder, and then obviously just pitching. I mean, those winter workouts, when you come in, you got to put time in to be a good pitcher. You can't just come out and hope you're going to pitch well. So just trying to be athletic and pitch pretty darn good.
And Tate, from a mental game standpoint, how big is it being the starting catcher for Garrigan as well? You know, you're always kind of thinking about what pitches should be next and how you want to work the game. How does that translate for you when you go out to the mound?
Oh, it definitely helps, 100%. Knowing, like, hey, what would I do here as a catcher? And I caught some pretty darn good pitchers like Dan and Brady, so I know what they like to do, and I kind of go off what they like to do and just try to throw my own game.
All right, Tate. Well, congratulations on the great outing here tonight, and thank you for stopping by and joining us.
Thanks, Tyler.
We'll get that headset over to Brady Garrigan here, who's also stopped by up in the press box as Bishop Garrigan defeats North Union tonight by a final count of 7-2. The Golden Bears just having a couple big innings here tonight as they break through for the win in this one. Brady, first of all, big win tonight for the Golden Bears. Just talk to me about kind of bouncing back from Tuesday, you know, kind of a slow night offensively for the Golden Bears, or whatever night you guys played Garner, but you bounced back from that game and come out with a big win here tonight.
Yeah, obviously it was a tough time going through that game, but just coming back home in front of the fans and just putting on a show and just really just sticking to the game plan and just hunting fastballs and hitting them out.
Well, Brady, coming into this ball game, you knew that North Union to throw one of the better pitchers of Grayson Colgrove. Just talk to me about what you felt he was throwing tonight and how you approached your at-bats against him.
Obviously, I'm always trying to hunt the fastball, just trying not to get behind the count, you know, just sticking into my swing and, you know, just trying to put the ball in play to help us win the game. So.
A couple of really hard-hit base hits left field for you in this ball game, and especially for an offense that's kind of struggled early in the season. How big did you think those hits were tonight to really jump-starting this offensive attack for the Golden Bears?
It was pretty big as, you know, our lineup's also struggling a little bit, but, you know, just trying to get the ball in play, letting my team back off of what I'm doing, and just hopefully it just keeps the hits going and we can get a good win. So it was good tonight.
What's that mindset for you like right now as the number 4 hitter? Obviously, that's kind of the traditional big run producer spot, and you did that job here tonight. But, you know, when you see that name written in the lineup in that 4 spot, what kind of goes through your head?
You know, I'm just trying to, you know, be the best player I can be wherever Meister wants me to play, and the 4 spots where I want to be. So just trying to get the right approach and just try to put the ball in play, giving everyone the best outcome I can have. So.
Well, Brady, you're a veteran on this team, and as you know, as you head to the CYO tournament tomorrow, there's always some really great pitching at that tournament, some really good teams, some of the best 1A teams in the state there. So that tournament really big for development for the guys. But just talk to me a bit about tomorrow and sort of how big those tournaments are to really helping the team improve.
Yeah, well, you know, me and Dan are going tomorrow, both games. So, you know, just trying to get out there, throw the game, you know, just giving the best opportunity we can for all of our players, you know. Maybe win or lose, we're still going to come and compete with some momentum that we won tonight. So it'll be fun tomorrow.
Well, Brady, we're looking forward to seeing how the Golden Bears do tomorrow. Congrats on the win tonight, and thank you for stopping by.
Thank you, Tyler.
That is Bishop Garrigan Senior Brady Gallen joining us here on Hometown Radio KLGA, as Galligan had a couple of big hits tonight for the Golden Bears, finishing 2 for 3 in this one as the Golden Bears win it 7-2 over the North Union Warriors. We'll get Beanie back on the headset here as we break this game down, but always great to talk to the players after the game, especially a big win like that for Bishop Garrigan, as we have Beanie Bodie joining us. Beanie, sorry, you're not quite as interesting as those guys, but we'll bring you back on the headset anyways.
I did not play the game. I sat here the entire time.
Well, I'll just run through a couple of final numbers for tonight, and then we'll start to wrap things up. Tate Furch got the win tonight. You just heard from him, as Tate Furch only allowed those 2 runs for North Union. He struck out 9 batters, and he walked 3. Warriors only had 3 base hits. The final stat line for North Union, it was 2 runs on 3 hits. They committed 2 errors and left 6 on base. Bishop Garrigan had 7 runs on 4 hits. They commit 2 errors tonight as well, but only left 3 guys on base. The loss tonight went to Grayson Colgrove. Battled through 5 innings as he allowed those 7 runs, gave up 4 hits. He struck out 4 and walked 4 as well, but a couple of unearned runs in there as well for Colgrove. Max Merrill pitched a scoreless inning for North Union, striking out 2 batters. Well, Beanie, it wasn't an explosive offensive performance necessarily for Bishop Garrigan, but it was the offense they needed here tonight. Just a couple of big innings, scored in a couple of bunches there against North Union, and when you get the pitching that Tate Furch provided, that's enough in this game, and that may be the formula going forward for the Golden Bears. You get great pitching, just timely enough offense, and that gets the job done.
Yeah, timely offense is key, and they got a couple timely hits there. You had Garrigan on the interview. Nick Lear had a really timely hit that really put the game away, I would say, like you said, with Furch on the mound, pitching really well. The Bears were very efficient tonight on the base paths, and that's North Union's repertoire. They came into this game scoring a lot of runs on very few hits, and so the Bears just kind of swiped that out of their playbook. They left 6 guys on base, which if you look at their stats, they don't do that very often, and they did that tonight. They got a couple guys on base and were able to plate them with a couple miscues by the Bears, but some aggressive base running. Teams in high school love to get that first and third situation and torment the defense, and the Warriors did that to the Bears tonight. No doubt the Bears are going to have to clean that defense up, and that was a lot of fun first and third situations for both teams this evening.
Yeah, the good news for Bishop Garrigan is they found something they can work on, but they get to do it after a win, which is important. Now, I think offensively for the Golden Bears, you're starting to see maybe a few things that you like, and maybe some small ball starting to develop. I saw some good bunts tonight by Bishop Garrigan, some pressure put on the defense. This may not be a lineup like lineups of the past few years where you're mashing and hitting a ton of extra base hits and 1 through 9 power all around, but this may be a lineup where you have a couple of guys who hit for power, and then you have guys like Deitring who can lay down a really good bunt, guys like Thad Kolash put together a competitive at bat. Maybe a little small ball here for the Golden Bears, some steals, that sort of thing, just finding a way to manufacture runs as time goes forward.
Yeah, for sure. And while a lot of these guys have experience, Lear, Furch have a lot of at bats under their belt, Schwab, you just got the feeling Schwab did this last year where he went through a little bit of a period where he wasn't belting the ball, and then all of a sudden he just started hitting a ton. You feel like that's for sure going to happen this season at some point. And then the Bears have a lot of guys like Thad Kolash that are just building up experience, and they'll start being that guy that can put the ball in play more. And so it's kind of an offense in progress. And, I know it feels like this season goes by slowly because there's a lot of games, a lot of contests, but it's really key for these guys to get those at-bats, to see those that production towards the end of the season. And I think this offense will come along. But like you said, early in the broadcast and before the pregame, the Bears are still searching for that rhythm offensively.
They are searching for that rhythm offensively, but it was enough to get the job done tonight, winning 7-2. And part of that is offense is half the game, pitching and defense is the other half. If you prevent the other team from scoring, you're going to win a lot of games. Baseball 101 right there. But the Golden Bears have prevented the opposing teams from scoring. They've allowed 5 or less runs in every game this season. That continued here tonight. They had one inning that was a little bit shaky defensively, but besides that, you got a great outing by Tate Furch, and you got the job done here tonight against North Union, a Warrior team that just always plays the Golden Bears tough.
Yeah, and the Warriors, they have the same situation as the Bears. You can feel like their offense, like you said, they've got a lot of young players. A couple of them put a few good charges in the ball, most of the time foul. But, boy, they saw good pitching by Furch tonight. They also have a lot of rhythm to find offensively, and they can get things going as well. So early season game, these teams, I think, will both look far different when we see them again in Bancroft at the historic park.
Well, Bishop Garrigan gets the win tonight, and importantly, they avoid getting a third conference loss, so they really stay in the race here tonight with a big win over North Union. Both teams now have records overall of 4 wins and 3 losses. That'll be it for tonight's broadcast. It'll be a big week next week for the Bishop Garrigan baseball team. They'll take on Forest City on Tuesday night in a big highlight type of game, and then they'll have a game at Target Field against Clarion Goldfield Dows. So a lot to talk about next week, but we will break it all down once that arrives. That'll wrap us up for tonight, though, as we wind things down here on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream. I'm Tyler Lance signing off. Once again, your final score, Bishop Garrigan 7 and North Union 2.